Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
And hello, Andrew.
Hello, Joe.
Welcome to Texas.
Oh, thank you so much.
It was good running into you last night.
Oh,
It was
so
funny.
much fun. Last night was great.
It was, right?
I choked you out, dude.
How about that spot? That Golden Tiger spot?
But can we talk about me choking you out? Can we talk about
You tried a couple of times. It was interesting.
Yeah.
You got a hold of my neck.
But did you think I had power? Do you think I had like real choke power?
You could develop it. I think you developed some real
I got a
choke
shot
power.
immediately, dude. We're 30 seconds in. I just got trashed
You
immediately.
got a good build for jiu-jitsu. You're a tall guy. You got long limbs.
Okay.
That's really good for
Okay.
jiu-jitsu. If you
Nah.
see like some of the greatest of all time, like Hodger Gracie, he's got these really long arms, and yeah, there's a lot of guys like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
Braulio
fun.
Estima, same build, long limbs.
I'll be honest, I
Good
thought it would be
chokes.
easier. Because I've never tried to choke somebody.
Yeah.
So then when you let me like do it, I'm like, all right, I got this easy. And then I was gonna like take it easy on you. I wasn't, gonna really
Yeah.
get you out of there. And I was shocked how I couldn't get under your chin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shocked me.
Why is that shocking?
Well, I don't know. I figure your chin is here. I just get the arm under, and then once I'm under the chin, it's over. That's how it looks like in all the fights.
You should try it at Gordon.
I would definitely take out Gordon. Gordon was there. Shout out to Gordon. And I was nice to him, but I was going to choke the shit out of him. I told him that. I did tell him that.
You told him today, too.
I told him today, and I said, and I pulled him aside, and I was like, listen, I understand your girl's here, and out of respect for her, I'm not going to choke the shit out of you. But he was getting his blood test, and I almost choked the shit out of him. I told him. I did say it. I think if I sneak up on him and I kind of just jump on him, then I think I might have a chance.
You should try jiu-jitsu. I think you would like it.
Let's do it. I'm
Yeah.
down, man.
You'd enjoy it.
I'm down because
I mean,
everything else
there's
is
a lot
falling
of
apart.
places in New York City.
Yeah, there's the one.
Yeah,
that you
heads
guys
up.
were talking
But
about.
that
Yeah.
place, they get a lot of fucking staph infections there. I keep hearing about people catching staph because
yeah.
it's in the basement.
Yeah.
No
Gordon was
sunlight?
saying that. Yeah.
You want a place that gets some sunlight.
So where should I go?
Well, it's a great place for training, though.
Yeah.
Like, as far as like learning, it's one of the best places ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down to try it. I keep talking to guys about it, and they say, like, I think it was Ronnie Chang said it. You know, Ronnie Chang, comedian?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's fucking brilliant.
Love that dude.
And he's like, it's cool because it's one of these things where, like, you can give maximum effort.
Yes.
You know, like there's in boxing, you can't go 100%. You're going to hurt
Right.
somebody or somebody's going to hurt you.
Right.
But, like, it gets to the point where you tap out and then you get this great
Yes.
workout, but you're giving everything you got.
You know what's good about that, too? If you're ever in a real altercation, you're used to people resisting 100%. Because, like, if you're like a karate guy and you used to like point touching each other and shit. Did you see that karate?
I was
thing
about
in
to
the
bring
Olympics?
it up. It was unbelievable.
The guy
It was unbelievable.
loses by not. He wins.
How do you feel
But
proud?
he loses.
How do you feel proud? You get knocked out
Yeah.
in the gold medal matchup, and you win the gold, and the other guy's disqualified?
He's disqualified for hitting you too hard.
And here's the thing that was fucked up is like
dumb.
it's not like he was standing there. He kind of leaned in to the kick.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
bent over and the dude caught him. So it's kind of on you a little bit too.
Yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch it because it's so dumb. And I didn't. A friend of mine sent that to me. And,
Look at this.
Here it is.
Look at this. Look, he
Leans
he
back,
bends
yep.
over.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's a counter. The guy throws a straight left. He counters with the kick, catches him,
Hit him
and then
perfect.
he's just fake sleeping.
Oh, he's
Get
sleeping,
out of here,
bro.
dude.
He's sleeping.
Oh, he thought he won too. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Well, he should have won in a real world scenario. In any other rational sport that's a combat sport, he won.
That's the problem with like Olympic combat sports is they try to take the violence out of it.
But what doesn't make any sense is you could win by knockout in Taekwondo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's in the same thing.
Ah,
It's in the Olympics too. Like why?
Why
do you
this
have-
specifically?
it's- Why? What is the difference? Why do you have karate and Taekwondo?
Yeah.
Like the only difference is you're allowed to punch in the face in this. And is it point karate? Is that what it is?
I heard it was kumite. I don't know though. But-
Kumite is the Japanese word for sparring.
Okay, so yeah, that doesn't make sense. I just heard someone saying it while I was watching.
I think that's the word for sparring. I think that's what it means.
I mean, they got all the different types of swimming, so I guess you're gonna have all the different types of martial arts. You know, you got to do things to stack the medals, right? Like if you're good at some shit, like America,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
good
yeah.
at running, so we're just gonna
75
400.
kilogram kumite final.
yeah, it's so dumb,
Yeah.
ridiculous. So they have individual demonstrations like kata, and then they have one-on-one kumite.
That's the most ridiculous one. And I'm not trying to
Kata?
shit on this guy. He probably kicked my ass. But the guy won a gold medal for
Yeah.
dancing,
getting KO. Oh yeah, for the kata.
for the kata.
Yeah.
But it was just choreography.
Well, you can win for gymnastics.
Yeah, but gymnastics isn't a fight. Like I see martial arts as you know, it's fighting, right?
Right,
in order to be good at it, you have to be able to do that shit on someone.
The kata thing is like you would have to learn those to get your belts. Like you'd have a kata for one specific one that you had for blue belt, a specific one you had for green belt, and
I remember when I did taekwondo as a kid, we had that.
yeah,
You had to learn all that.
Yeah, I hated those.
What, the taekwondo?
This stuff.
Yeah.
The forms. Poomsae.
America won the gold, though.
Here
This
it
guy
is.
won.
He won
He
the gold.
won the first ever karate medal in men's kata. The first ever for America,
Oh,
or the first
yeah.
ever time they handed it out.
America's
oh my God,
first
this
ever.
is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
Look at his face.
the
He's
intensity.
so serious.
Yeah.
Good
The
for
thing
him, though.
is, like, it's not a bad thing to practice movement. Like, it's almost like kind of like a form of yoga in a way. Like, you're practicing moving your body, and if you get really good at doing those katas, it'll probably enhance your ability to move, which will enhance your ability to spar.
But you're not giving anybody a medal for shadow boxing.
Good fucking point.
That'd be ridiculous.
Good fucking point.
And imagine
Could
you were walking
imagine
around. I'm a boxing gold
medal,
medalist.
A gold medal for shadow boxing. Or hitting the cobra bag, you know?
A bag work gold medal.
The backward gold medal would be better than this.
Because we can at least
This
see
is
something land.
air
Yeah.
kicks.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Oh, this poor guy just got back to America with his gold medal, and we're just trashing
This is the
him.
guy who won. They were going against each other, though.
Oh, and this guy
How
won.
do you do
Oh,
that?
they judge it. They judge the karate.
Just
Come on,
for-
come on,
The,
come
po-
on.
the kata, rather. Yeah, we used to have those in tournaments. In Taekwondo tournaments, they would have the kata version, or I forget what they called it. I think it's called poomsae, they call it in Korean. And then they would have the sparring part. Now, you'd have to wait around while these dummies threw fucking air kicks
Air
and
kicks,
shit.
yeah. Is Taekwondo trash?
It's good to learn in terms of kicking dynamics and movement and flexibility and leg dexterity. You definitely can use some of the kicks in MMA if you know how to do the other things.
But why is
as
there
an
no MMA
individual
like
sport,
Taekwondo, dude?
there are. There's a bunch. There's a bunch that use those type of techniques, but they know how to do everything else. Like karate. The best representative of karate is Wonder Boy.
Am I
Stephen
seeing
Wonder
shit,
Boy
or
Thomas.
do- or-
Yeah, there's a shooting star.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Pretty dope, right?
yeah, it's good. But I thought I
By the
was
way, how
seeing
good
shit.
are these fucking coffee
Yeah,
drinks?
these are good.
The
Shouts to your
best.
man. Shouts to your man. Oh
Black
fuck!
Rifle?
Happy birthday, Jamie. Reminded me it was
Thank
your
you.
birthday.
Thank you very much.
I have a present for you.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. I was waiting until we
Okay.
started to give
Oh.
you. Okay. Here's my present for you. This is a gift.
Is it your shirt?
No, this is for you. This is not mine at all. This is for you.
You want it?
Shouts to Pound for Pound for
Bohemian
making it.
Grove?
Shouts for Pound for making it for us. And this-
1999 Bohemian Grove.
it was a great year. It was a great year for the Grove, 1999.
Quality shirt.
There we go. Pound for Pound is good
shirt.
stuff. But I figure you would like this. Happy birthday.
How heavy that shirt is. It almost feels like it's wet.
That's just a nice shirt.
Quality.
That's good quality, man.
Got some weight.
Quality
Boy
shirt.
tears. Boy tears. They soak them in boy tears over at the Grove, and then they give them. How old? 54.
54.
How does it feel?
Feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Pretty fucking good.
You were fucking celebrating last night, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's why I ate so much too.
Oh my
It's
God,
birthday
dude.
birthday food.
Just an animal. Just an animal.
That golden tiger.
I gotta tell you something, man.
Okay.
After this morning, I can't hear any more New York slander on the pod after what I saw this morning at our place.
What'd you see?
A fucking naked guy with a string thong broke into our complex where we're staying right here with a knife. This morning.
Well, that's called suicide by cop. He's trying to die. Everybody has a gun here.
I gotta show you
if
this
a guy
video.
broke in with,
I
a knife and wearing a thong,
Bro, he
wants to
stole a
die.
Maserati earlier,
Really?
parked at our place, and then, look at this, and then just is trying to get in, butt-ass naked, shredded, by the way, in amazing shape.
Really?
Yeah.
I like how you could see it from the pool. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, little things here. But
Nice
I mean,
place.
is this an Austin thing here? Are we talking? Because I'm
Might
hearing
be.
a lot of New York slander about how dangerous New York is.
This isn't dangerous. It's just fun.
All right.
Did anybody get hurt?
No. We
People
called the
getting
authorities.
shot left and right in New York. They're beating the fuck out of people.
No.
I watch videos.
No.
If you're Asian, you have problems.
But yeah, that's right.
Right?
Asians
They're
were going
attacking
through
Asian
it
people
for a
in New
little
York.
bit.
Rick
They were
Moranis
definitely
had-
going
Isn't
through
that
it.
weird?
Yeah,
Rick
they were
Moranis had
going
an
through it.
issue.
Rick Moranis got cracked.
He did, but he had it coming though. Like that guy had it coming, bro. Shrinking them fucking kids and shit, dog.
Yeah, that's not good.
You can't be shrinking kids, Joe.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. What a fucking movie.
Nah, but New York is fine, man.
It's not fine.
It's fine.
It's
I'm there.
Doomed. It's doomed.
It's beautiful.
Even the governor's sexually groping people.
That's
even
Italian,
your
bro. That is being Italian, Joe. You're disrespecting
Isn't that
Italian
an amazing
culture.
excuse?
Yeah, it's the greatest excuse ever.
Amazing excuse.
I'm not a pervert.
I'm Italian.
I'm Napolitan. This is our culture. Joe, this is our culture.
Did you see Kyle Dunnigan's take
No,
on it?
what did he do?
Oh my God, Kyle Dunnigan.
He's got great stuff. Shout out to Kyle, man.
Shout out to Kyle Dunnigan and,
and Kurt too.
Metzger.
Yeah, Kurt, we've killed
I'm
it.
having them both come on together.
Oh, God bless.
They have one of the best shows that's ever existed.
Yeah.
First of all, they do that Biden sitcom.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
No, I
The
haven't
Fresh
seen that
Prez.
one. No.
Oh my God, it's fucking amazing because it's all
yeah.
face swaps.
Yeah.
So he's got Biden in the face swaps.
Yeah.
And now he's got his
love
Biden
it.
with Ben Shapiro on his lap.
Oh, Ben.
He's got
Look at AOC.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. But
Yeah.
it's the new one that he did with Cuomo. Here,
What'd he do?
Give me some volume. He's got this thing. It's the Andrew Cuomo Rock and Chart show.
With me,
Like here.
Andrew Cuomo.
Oh,
Let
yeah,
me
yeah,
work my way into your hearts with my personal stories and informative charts.
Oh, I did see this.
It's the Governor Andrew Cuomo Rock and Chart Show. Quick story. When I was a boy, I would watch Howdy Doody. One day I received a gift. It was a Howdy Doody doll. It was my favorite toy to play with. Until the day I found something more fun to play with. My penis. Sit back, relax, and take me in. I'll entertain and teach you. That's a real win-win. It's the Governor Andrew Cuomo Rock and Chart Show.
Here he talks
I
about
show charts.
He's great.
Hello. Welcome to the show. We'll be getting to the controversy and my imminent arrest in a minute. First, some housekeeping. I have decided to ditch Mitch and go with a young hip sidekick, the king of Staten Island, Pete Davidson. Pete, what's happening?
Nothing, I guess.
Fascinating. Okay. I have been accused of touching women's privates. Not true. I'm Italian. We talk with our hands. And all that my hands was saying was, what time is it? And sometimes when you hear your family. Makes sense?
When your family. I love it. You gotta admit that's an all-time excuse, though.
It's a ridiculous
It's
thing to
just-
say.
and the video that he put up, did you see the video where
No,
he's
I
like
didn't
grabbed?
see it.
Oh, Cuomo. I think it was like at the press conference. He put up this video of him like touching all the people. He goes, "I've touched men." And there's a picture of him kissing a guy. I've
said
touched
that?
women. I've touched powerful people. He's holding Bill Clinton's face as he's like kissing him on the cheek. And it was like it was interesting defense because at the start I'm like,
Let me see that. Can I see the video?
You know what I'm
See,
talking
I
about,
kiss and
Jamie?
touch everyone. Cuomo shows gallery of him kissing men, women.
Yeah.
LGBTQ. What is this?
he was snitching on himself.
Yeah.
He's like, you think I touch people? Of course I touch. And he just put all the different people that he's touched, but it looked kind of innocent. Look.
Oh, let's see this. Give me some volume.
He's narrating.
Oh my God. Oh, we got 3 seconds. 2, 1, and here we go.
Raised against me questions that have sought to unfairly characterize and weaponize everyday interactions that I've had with any number of New Yorkers. The New York Times published a front page picture of me touching a woman's face at a wedding and then kissing her on the cheek. That is not front page news. I've been making the same gesture in public all my life. I actually learned it from my mother
That's her fault.
and from my
You
father.
should tell your mom. I learned how to
It
be a
is
pervert
meant
from my
to
mom.
convey warmth,
It's a long line of perverts.
nothing more. Indeed, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of photos of me using the exact same gesture. I do it with everyone, black and white, young. and old, straight, and LGBTQ, powerful people.
Look at this. Look at this. Clinton went nose to nose. Just Eskimo kissing.
People who I
That's
meet on
great.
the street. After the event, the woman told the press that she took offense at the gesture. And for that, I apologize. Another woman stated that I kissed her on the forehead
this
at
is
our
it.
Let me hear that part.
Christmas party, and that I said, "Ciao, Bella." Now, I don't remember doing it, but I'm sure that I did. I do kiss people on the forehead. I do kiss people on the cheek. I do kiss people on the hand. I do embrace people. I do hug people, men and women. I do on occasion say, "Ciao, Bella." On occasion, I do slip and say, "Sweetheart," people. I do tell jokes, some better than others. I am the same person in public as I am in private. You have seen me do it on TV through all my briefings and for 40 years before that. I try to put people at ease. I try to make them smile. I try to connect with them. And I try to show my appreciation and my friendship. I now understand that there are generational or cultural perspectives that, frankly, I hadn't fully appreciated. And I have learned from this. Now, the state already has an advanced sexual harassment training program for all employees, including me. But I want New York State government to be a model of office behavior. And I brought in an expert.
Okay. So this is all before he resigned.
Yes. That was the last ditch effort. Like, we were supposed to see that and be like, you're okay. And
But it's more than that he's accused
no,
of.
the accusations are crazy, right? The accusations he was trying to like finger girls, right?
Yeah, like that, like Ciao Bella. Did someone get upset at that?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that's a little bit crazy. I mean, he is like an older Italian guy, so there's going to be a
Ciao
certain
Bella,
amount of...
why is that
It
offensive?
means hello, beautiful.
Yeah, why is that offensive?
I guess, I don't know.
Or goodbye, beautiful.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you're Italian?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how do you, like, resist?
Touching?
Yeah, like, how does that Italianness not come out? Like,
I don't know.
when you're around tits...
I have a little bit of Irish in me.
Oh, that's what it is.
Standoff.
You just go like this when you see some girls.
25% standoff in me. I don't,
But yeah, he's being an old guy. He's fucking, what is he, 70 years old? I don't want to defend
If it was just that,
that'd be fine.
that is,
I think there's some serious shit.
yeah.
And, maybe he was trying to hit on girls. He's trying to get his dick wet a little bit. And
Do you know the whole story with the lady she's the attorney general, right? The one who prosecuted this?
Letitia
or-
James
yeah.
is her name? Yeah.
Do you know she was in another party and he made her denounce her party in order to come over to work for him? And then she immediately went after him?
Whoa. Is that, yeah, wow. Yeah.
It's heavy.
So he's got like a history of making women do things they don't want to do.
Well, I don't know if he made her, I think it's a political thing. He probably would do it for a guy, too.
Busting balls. But
Busting balls.
it's just so interesting. I don't know. Because you see that, you're like, yeah, this is how old people were. Like, old people were way more tactile.
Yes.
At least like Mediterranean folks.
Yeah, they were very touchy.
That's
Yeah.
fine. And I
Yeah.
don't think and I think that's a lot of like the Biden thing. Like, like the Biden sniffing kid shit.
I don't like that.
Bro,
That
you wouldn't let him
sniffing
sniff your kid?
That bothers me.
I'd let him sniff my kid. Joe.
Really?
100%.
Because you don't have any kids. Once you have kids, you're like, why are you sniffing my kid? Your father instincts would kick in.
Let me think.
Plus, I don't think you'd remember if it's a kid or not. I think you'd be confused.
Just in the moment, he's
Maybe
like,
think
this
it's
is
like
a
a
full,
smaller person.
That's it. Yeah. I just
smaller
sniffing midgets.
adult.
Dude, that's one of my favorite pastimes, dude. I'm a midget sniffer, dude. If I see a midget, I gotta smell them, dude. They smell so delicious. I just don't think I think that thing is way bigger a deal than it needs to be.
The sniffing?
Yeah, like the cognitive ability is the thing that scares me, not sniffing kids.
Right.
Just keep the kids away from them.
I think the sniffing kids in public is part of the cognitive decline. Like, he doesn't recognize that people don't like that.
But you don't think
Look
it's
at
just him being 200? Look at him.
Well, these kids he's
Oh,
sniffing.
that one on the side is fucked up at the bottom right. I mean,
All
it looks
of
like
them
he's
are
like
fucked
pulling. Yeah.
They're all fucked up.
Yeah,
Kids
that
are
one, she's really
lurching
uncomfortable.
away from them.
Yeah.
They're distorting their facial expressions.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
But why would they smell like that? Like, why would they come in smelling like that, Joe? Why would they wear perfume
Why
that
they
day?
smell so good?
Why would they do that?
They want to be sniffed.
Am I a victim blamer?
Maybe.
Holy shit, dude.
Maybe. But just for sniffing. It's like, it's the worst. I mean, if that's the worst thing that happens to you, you get sniffed.
Yeah, like you can get over a sniff.
Yeah,
you know?
should.
And I think it's an older person thing. I think the Cuomo stuff that was messed up is probably he was trying to finger these girls or grabbing titties or just being a real like scumbag. And I'm just not surprised. Like anybody like that wants to be in a position of power
Yeah.
uses their power shitty.
Yeah, especially that kind of thing, like a governor or president, or it used to be back in the JFK days. Like that's why you became president, so you could fuck everybody.
Was JFK the last one?
I don't know. That's a good question. Who do you think? Well, Clinton, obviously.
But was he
the
really
last
getting
one.
it
Clinton
in? Like
got busted.
Yeah, but he wasn't getting it in like that.
I
Like
think he was getting it
JFK.
in. I think he was getting it in. I think Clinton was getting it in. I think he had people that can keep their fucking mouth shut.
You don't fuck with Monica Lewinsky and then Pamela Anderson the same week. Like if you're no offense to Monica, but like if you're fucking with Monica, like the chick that just works down the hall.
I think Clinton would fuck anybody who's locked in a room with him.
Interesting.
I think he's one of them.
Really?
Them cats.
You think he'll
Yeah.
ever go down or he dies first?
I think if he was going to go down, he would have already gone down.
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember when Trump had all those women that accused him of rape?
It was one of
And they had-
the most hilarious things that I've
Crazy, because
Front row.
Hillary tried to talk some shit about him, and he's like, "Oh, really?
Yeah.
Check this out." And he
It's signs
brought
and
those
shit.
girls front row.
Yeah.
If he's not going down for that,
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
he hasn't gone down for that, what's he going down for?
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. And
It
I
would
feel
have to be like some murder shit, some House of Cards shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like people stop caring. Like it's weird. Like we only have like a certain tolerance for caring. Like we
Right.
really cared about the Epstein shit for a minute. Everybody's wearing T-shirts and hashtag this and that. Epstein isn't
Right.
dead or whatever.
He didn't hang himself.
It didn't hang himself. Yeah. And like now we're like, okay. It's like the UFO thing. Like we were really all about it. And then the government was like, yeah, there might be some. And then we're like, okay, give us what we need.
It's actually pretty dangerous if you think about the fact that you got this guy who is a key witness in one of the most high-profile sex trafficking things ever. Like, if what they accused him of is accurate,
Yeah.
and that he really did involve heads of state, politicians, scientists, celebrities, and he
Yeah.
brought them all to Fuck Island,
Yes.
and he filmed them.
Yes.
If that's real, if he really did have this giant fucking Rolodex of people that he could call and go, hey, I got this video and I don't want to release it, but I also want $150 million.
Yeah. Might need to cough that up.
Who was that one guy who was the hedge fund guy that it turned out that they found that he had given Epstein $150 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the most recent one that came out. He's like a big what is this guy's name?
Leon Black.
Leon Black.
And this
Super
guy
rich cat.
is also in the news today.
He's in the news today?
Ooh.
Oh, a Russian model claims Wall Street billionaire Leon Black flew her to Palm Beach to satisfy the sex needs of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I just typed in Epstein's name in Google, and there's like 5 different stories that popped up within the last like 24 hours.
But why do you think
Why
we don't
would
care,
any-
Joe? Like, why do you think we stop caring? Why do
It's
we
not
have
that we don't care. It's that there's so many things to care about.
Yeah.
You can't care about everything. You can't care about UFOs and climate change and Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell or whatever the fuck. How do you say her name?
I don't know, but she's
Ghislaine?
got the heavies, bro. Did you see the picture of her and
Big
the chick
tatas?
who big tatas, super
Really?
heavies? Did you see the picture with her and the chick from the Atlantic?
No.
Jamie, can you bring this up? I mean,
Imagine if she got him done while she was on trial.
brilliant move.
Imagine.
Brilliant move.
Whoa.
No. It's her and the girl from the Atlantic. She's in full bikini, super heavies, just out.
In bikini.
Bikini. Go woman from the Atlantic. You didn't see this? Like,
Is it the upper right-hand corner?
no.
No. Was she?
No, you'll see it. I don't know. She was like, anyway, but it was like super. It was wild. It was like,
She looks like she would have been a very attractive lady.
oh
when
yeah,
she was
she
younger.
was a total piece, man. Total piece.
What do you think happened with that? What was that weird relationship? Because she would get the girls, right? That was the
Yeah.
thing. She would groom them.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I guess maybe it was a lot easier when there was a girl there. Like, remember that like porn series Bang Bus?
Yeah.
Do you remember that
Yeah.
one? Like they were in like Miami. They just had like a bus, right?
Right.
And they're like pick up girls off the street. Like everybody was paid and shit, but they made you think they were picking girls off the
Right.
street. There was always a chick in the bus. And that just calmed everything down. It's not a bunch of fucking horny dudes, a guy with like a huge dick. You get in the bus to get a ride wherever you need to go, and then you just start fucking, right? There was like a
Right.
girl there who would like help kick the game.
Right.
And it made it so much calmer, so much safer. Even watching it, you're like, I feel way better that there's a woman here. You know what I mean? Like, if there wasn't a woman here, this would be dangerous. But like this girl's here, and she's making sure everything's okay. It's like, it's like a dude being a pimp is way more gross than a woman being a madam.
Right.
For some fucking reason.
Right. It's almost like the madam is like easing everybody's discomfort and taking
She's
care
got
of
their
everything.
side. She's making sure that she's that motherly role.
Yeah.
But realistically, she's the most savage because she probably knows how to like manipulate them in ways that guys never do. And I think you have that shit. Didn't the Bunny Ranch have like some madam that kept all the girls in check?
Probably.
And he was just smoking them out, but like she was the one that was really doing the due diligence. But so that's probably what they were doing. I don't know,
New
man.
York City has decriminalized prostitution.
Yeah, but it's always been.
Really?
I mean, like they're not arrested. There was a whole fucking HBO show about like picking up pussy on the street, like in Hunts Point.
but that's
Like, none of those girls got
they
arrested.
No, they arrested those girls sometimes. They would bring them in.
$50. Hey, what were you doing? I wasn't doing anything.
But I think it's on the books now. That's what's different.
It's official. I think like weed is decriminalized too. But I guess what I'm saying is like, I don't know. Like in New York, like what is, you're not allowed to jaywalk.
right.
But like we're going to jaywalk. So there's certain things that they don't bust you on. Like the
Yeah,
cops
but in
don't
LA,
bust your
they
balls.
bust you for jaywalking.
Yeah, but LA sucks.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Is that a hot take?
That's a little bit of a hot take, but other people share it.
Do you think so? But not you. You don't share. Like when we were having
That's why
dinner
I
with,
moved.
but we were having dinner with Newsom last night. Remember? And Newsom and remember we went bowling with Newsom and Pelosi?
Did you see the Newsom video with him losing his temper?
Oh, it's great.
Getting hot.
I love it.
He's
passionate.
clearly under fire.
Yeah,
I think he realizes it's coming down.
He's out of here,
That
right?
Larry Elder fella. That Larry Elder fella is a smooth talker.
Good guy?
Conservative radio host. Smooth talker.
The radio
and,
guys, bro.
And people like him.
The
They
radio
like him
guys.
a lot. He's very popular. He's got a huge national show.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been around for a long time. When
That's
he
the-
decided
yeah.
to step in, they were all upset. Caitlyn Jenner, I'm sure, was upset.
Yeah. What's the deal with her?
She had it.
Is she? You think she
in
had
the
it?
Back. No, she had no chance.
Never.
No. She's
Yeah.
a male Kardashian.
She's a
She's
what?
female.
Yeah, she's a
Kardashian.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Is she? I don't know.
It's a grab at attention. There's no like.
You don't actually think
she's
she can
a
do it?
conservative. She's a
Yeah.
conservative. You know, like I think a lot of people like the idea of a conservative transsexual.
Yeah.
You know. who
Yeah, because it
steps
makes
in.
you feel comfortable with your political beliefs.
Yeah, and people, and you know, transsexual
Yeah.
people being, you know, in the public eye a lot more now, and particularly her.
Yeah.
she's like the main one.
Yeah.
it would be interesting.
Yeah.
the first ever transsexual governor. I'm sure California would love to elect the first ever transsexual governor and
Yeah.
claim the throne as the most progressive state of all time.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty much there right now.
You think they are?
I mean, it's got to be the most politically correct state.
Yeah.
In terms of like adopting the woke ideology, no one adopts it more heavy and hardcore than California.
I guess I'm so just like
Over it.
I'm just out of the loop, you know, like it's I don't know, it's weird. It's like one of these things. I remember when we moved back to New York, you know, I started doing shows again, and it was like for the first time, and like it was the first time in like 4 months that like I did shows for a crowd that like kind of groaned and had like pushback on like ideas or words.
Because you've been in
And
Miami.
I've been in Miami, and we've been on the road, and I've been performing for my guys, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they understand what they're coming into. And what's so interesting is I used to be so angry at that. I'd be so angry when audiences do that. I'd be like, why are you guys being fake? Why are you lying to yourselves? You're being hypocrites. You're laughing at this part of the joke, which is way worse than this part, but just this one bad word makes you feel uncomfortable. And then I realized, like, these people would all act the exact same way as the people at my shows if they were in that environment. This is just an unfamiliar environment for them. They're at the Comedy Cellar, but they're there with their coworkers. They might not want their coworkers to know that they find trans jokes funny, or homophobic jokes funny, or racist jokes funny. There's a
You think
level
it's
of
unique
discomfort.
because they're with their coworkers?
I think
that's
when you're-
unique to New York City.
I think it's like you know how you should be, and you know how you should be in public, and you also know how you are. And I think the great thing, at least that I've been able to experience, is people get to be who they are at these shows, right? So like everybody knows that everybody could get it, any race, religion, anybody. If you're trans, you're gonna get it. Everybody's getting it at the shows.
Right.
So everybody submits to that when they walk in. They're okay. But when you're at the random show with people that they don't even know in the lineup, you know, everybody's doing 15-minute spots, you don't know what behavior you should have. So you go in there going, okay, I got to be appropriate like I'm appropriate at work. And it's up to us to either make the jokes funny enough so that they can kind of let loose a little bit. And that is on us. I'll take that. But also create a culture at the club where the club is like, hey, you're allowed to laugh. It's okay to laugh. It's okay. Because I guarantee every one of those people, if they came to one of my shows, would just fall in line. They just fall right the fuck in
Because
line.
they would be there with your fans.
They would be there and they'd
and
see
people
like
would understand it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the one good thing about having your own show where people know what to expect. But it's also the one good thing about being in a place like the Cellar or the Store where you're dealing with 15 people a night where you can't get away with that.
Yep.
And so you need
the balance.
You need to figure out how to finesse people that might not agree with your ideas.
100%.
And it allows you to like structure your jokes in a way where you make them more palatable with the same ideas and the same jokes, but you figure out a way to ease them in better.
Yeah. That's the game.
Yeah, that's the game.
That is the game. I guess one of like the benefits of having some visibility or people know about me or they know about you, like they understand your perspective is like there's an expectation when you walk on stage. Like I used to always be jealous of comics that like looked a certain way when they walked on stage and they could just acknowledge
look funny.
it. Yeah. And it's like everybody's thinking the same thing. You walk on stage, satisfied, go. And I hated the first few minutes because nobody knows the fuck I am when I walk on stage.
Right.
Every Jewish person thinks I'm Jewish. Every Italian thinks I'm Italian, right?
Right.
Half the people are like, why does he kind of talk? Like he's using like slang words and shit like that.
Right.
Like, everybody, nobody knows.
Right.
So it would like a few minutes. I have to really hit him with a fucking haymaker where they're like, okay, he's funny. I'll get on board.
Right.
And it's nice now to be at the point where it's like, okay, can we just tell some fucking jokes?
Yeah.
I don't want to prove myself to you. I don't. That's not the ego thing that I get off on. I get off on us all coming together and having some fun on some fucked up shit.
Right.
Right? I guess there's some people who they really like proving the crowd wrong. And it's like, buddy, you're going to get to a point in your career where the crowd is going to like you.
Yeah.
It's not win over. The goal is not be like, oh, I didn't think he was funny. He was.
Do you know that's a fear that a lot of people have? They're going to get soft because of that, because they're going to have their own crowd.
You're as hard as you are.
That's true.
Come, you know what I mean? Like some accountability. Like, you know if the joke's trash.
Right.
Like, we've all been on the
You
road.
should know.
We hear something and we're like,
Yeah.
all right, that got too big a laugh.
Right.
I need to work on that for me.
Right.
You know, like that. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, you're not performing for the back of room. Like I don't believe in that. Like you perform for the people who are there.
Yeah.
But you think about it a little.
Well, you know if you're doing something that's hack.
Yes.
Or you know where you're taking a shortcut or you're doing a cheap laugh. Yeah, for sure. But I think you need to do all kinds of different places.
Yeah.
And I think like doing those store type shows or Cellar type shows where they're not there to see you. They're there to see everybody.
Pop in.
Yeah.
Pop in. See the
15
crowd.
different fucking comics on the lineup, and who's to say what percentage are there to see Andrew Schulz?
Yeah.
There might be like 10 of them.
Yeah.
You know, there might be 20 to see this guy, 5 to see this guy. You know what? You don't know. So those shows are like a good part of your work. Like it's like if you're a cross trainer. Like if you're a fighter and you're training for your sport, you're not just sparring.
Yeah.
You know, you got to do some road work.
Yep.
You got to lift a little weights.
Yep.
You got to do some hard cardio, some
Yep.
wind sprints.
Yeah.
That's like, you know what's the best really? One of the best things ever is those weird fucking shows where there's like 20 people in the audience.
Yeah.
They're the best for you.
Dude, there's a show, Will Sylvance, a comic in New York, and he runs it at like the upstairs room at the Cellar, and it's just called New Jokes. And he does it, and it's similar to Jeremiah's
Stand up on the spot.
stand up on the spot, but it's not like where they just throw something at you and then you do it, right? You do any new ideas you have, but my favorite part of it is afterwards Will comes up with you. And you kind of talk about the bits together in front of a crowd. And all of a sudden, you're like, I'm finding tags. I'm finding a different angle that I didn't see. You know, sometimes you're like too close to a joke. You're like
Right.
trying to make it work because it's like right in front of you. And if it was somebody else's joke, if it was your friend's joke, you'd be like, bro, what about going this way?
Right.
There's something about being so close to it
Yep.
that it almost like limits creativity a little bit. You're like, the laugh is almost there. I'm going to kind of grind this. I'm going to grind this. I'm going to grind this. But the reality is, the laugh is the completely other direction. And like being up there and like riffing back and forth, I forgot how fun that was in front of 30 people. Not that many people. 40 people or something like that. But having that live feedback, I was like, this is the most fun way to write, at least for me.
Yeah, that's the thing about those kind of like shows where you're improvising on the spot. They got a show out here called The Riff, and what they use is cards. The audience will fill out index cards, like Obama's super spreader party. You write things down on it, and then they take these things, they pull them out of this box, and they stick them on this wheel just randomly, and then you spin the wheel, and it'll land on one of the things, and you grab the card, and you're like, okay, and then you start talking Nancy Pelosi's chin, and then you start talking about that, you're like, okay. And then you have a bit that you riff right off of that.
Pelosi.
It's fucking great, man. I love those kind of shows. Those are very, very valuable shows.
Yeah. No, it's good to do stand-up again. Dude, I think I was telling you this, but I was like in Miami, and it was so nice, I couldn't write.
Yeah, you were having too much fun.
I didn't realize it back then, like what I initially pushed back against. Like really every single joke is pushing back against somebody being outraged at something I don't think they should be outraged by.
And there's a lot of that in New York.
It's nonstop. It's nonstop. Everybody's upset. I'm walking down the street, some girl calling me a murderer because I don't have a mask. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
Oh, multiple times.
Now?
In my neighborhood. But no, not now. But like back during the pandemic before we left.
So walking down the street outside.
Walking a golden doodle. I'm a good person. I have a dog. I have a golden doodle dog. I'm not a bad guy, right? If I have a golden doodle, right?
Yes.
I'm soft. That's like an effeminate dog.
Sweetie.
Right? It's a sweet dog. It's beautiful. I love her. Amazing. Murderer. I could not fathom she called me murderer. And I was like, what? And because I didn't, and she goes, murderer. Murder. Yeah.
See, I can't live in a place like that.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
But for jokes, like that thing, if let me tell you, if comedy clubs were open that night, some fun would have been had, or a giant bomb, an epic night would have happened because of that. Oh, something special.
Maybe a bomb, maybe a crush.
It would be remembered.
Yeah.
For good or bad reasons. But that type of shit, like pushing back.
I need more calm, I think, than you do.
I need chaos. I thrive in chaos, Joe. I'm from New York. This is what moves me. Like I try to go on vacation with my girl, and we went to after the last time I came here. We went to Hawaii. Went to Lanai.
Yeah.
And I almost died, by the way.
What happened?
I almost drowned.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
I did drown, actually. Yeah.
What do you mean?
I was surfing. Yeah, that was crazy.
What happened?
Well, the whole time I was trying to surf. I grew up surfing, right? When I was here, I went to Waco. I surfed Waco, amazing place. And I was trying to organize surfing on the island of Lanai. Lanai is the one island that's like blocked from northern swells. So there's no surf. The one island. I didn't realize this. I'm like, we're going to Hawaii. There's going to be surf, right? Of course. I go to the hotel. Can I get a surfboard? They're like, no, we really don't recommend. This is only for like experts and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I've been surfing my whole life. I'll be okay. So I find a way. I asked a million different people. I finally find a way. Contact this guy, Lanai, who's from Lanai. He's a celebrity out there in Hawaii. And good friends with BJ Penn.
Oh.
Yeah, who has one of the most horrifying stories, by the way, of getting caught in a wave pool.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I mean, this was, Jesus Christ. So I finally get a surfboard. They drop it off at the hotel, and the hotel's like, please, you shouldn't surf. And I'm like, it's going to be fine. They have once-in-a-decade waves while I'm there. This never happens. It's supposedly flat the whole time in the winter. Once in a decade, right outside of the hotel. Okay? I don't know how to relax. Like, I don't know how to just sit on a thing and relax. I can't do that, right? My girl learned that about me when we went there. So I'm like, let me just go surf. I surf the first day, fun. Surf the second day, fun. I go, one more day, I'll surf, and then we'll just do activities for the rest of the time. I go out there, I catch a few waves. The waves are breaking off of this point, right? So that means that there's reef here, and there's some rocks, and the wave wraps around the rocks, and the rock starts to break, and then they go. You take off on the wave really close to the rock, okay? And what I was basically doing is watching the locals take off, and I was just taking off a little bit further outside than them. I'm like, if that's where they take off, I go a little outside, I'll be okay. I went out. It was only two of us. Every day there'd be like four of us. It was like nobody surfing. It was unbelievable, the luck that I got. It's just me and another white dude from like North Carolina or some shit. So I don't know exactly where the takeoff is. So I'm a little bit deeper. Big one comes in. I'm like, okay, I got this. I go, paddle, pop up. I fall on the takeoff, right? Not a big deal. I fall on waves all the time. I'm getting thrashed around a little bit. It's like head-high waves, nothing like that crazy, but like I get thrashed, whatever. I try to go to the surface, and I can't. Like, what the fuck is going on here, right? I didn't even really care about my breath when I first went in because I'm not intending on being down for that long. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's a little tumble. I just went off the wave, nothing.
Right.
Try to go up, I can't. Try to go up, I can't. I try to pierce the surface, and I exhale right before, right? Because I don't know, it's just naturally, you just go exhale here and then breach, right?
Yeah.
So I exhale, I have no air left. I'm still under. My board or leash wrapped around the coral bed underneath, okay? I can't go up. I'm literally going, my girl's watching on the beach. In my mind, so many things are passing through my mind. I'm like, is she gonna watch me die? Is she gonna, how long have I been under here? I have no more air left. I take a breath of water.
Oh, shit.
I thought you'd die then. And in that moment, I had this like weird pinpoint focus. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. It was like, you're not gonna die. You're gonna figure this out. When I was surfing, oh, this is crazy. When I was surfing here in Waco, I went out to dinner with the Geiselman brothers and Kevin Schulz. Okay, they're surfers. The Geiselman brothers, one of them was telling me a story, I think it was Evan, about when he got his board wrapped around coral. Okay? He said, you don't bend at the waist to go undo the leash. You actually pull your knee up because your legs are stronger than your core, or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know exactly what it was, but in this moment, that it was probably 1 second, I had the whole conversation play in my head. It was the weirdest thing. Everything was so slow, but it was like, I don't know what it was. And I remembered the conversation from dinner after we surfed, having Mexican food in Waco. And in that moment, I pull my leg up. And as I pull my leg up to take off the leash, something pops and I just get pushed up out of the water. Whew. It was fucking unreal, dude. I was like kicking the coral with my feet. The bottom of my feet were all black and blue. Like, it was crazy. Whoa. And I went back out and I surfed 3 more waves and I came in.
What happened to BJ Penn?
He was surfing at, I don't want to say which one because he didn't say it, but he was surfing at a wave pool. And the way the wave pools work is there's a...
When you say a wave pool, in those artificial ones?
Artificial wave pool, yeah. And what happened was he, in these wave pools, it was like in the initial stages, right? So I think everybody was giving like a trial run before they put it out there. And the way it works is there's this like engine room that sucks in water, right? And then shoots the water back out. And that's what starts the wave. Right, so you suck in the water. There's a depression in the water level, and then you push it back out, and all that water coming out at the same time creates a hump. It hits, more shallow water starts to break. He's really close to the wall, waiting to surf. The suction happens, sucks him into the engine room. He doesn't just get sucked underwater. He gets sucked underwater into the room. He's stuck in the room, Joe. God. Bro, I'm reading this story. I hit him up on Instagram. I was like, dude, I can't believe what I just read. He's stuck in the fucking room as water's coming in, right? Filling up, bouncing him all around. He doesn't know where the fuck he's going. And then the water shoots out, and then he has a second to breathe. Oh water comes back in. He's like, it was something out of a Saw movie. It's like a torture technique.
Oh, my God.
He's like, the only reason I stayed alive is my kids. I was like, I just have.
Holy
And he
shit.
said he credited fighting. He goes, I've been in so many situations where it was like,
Where he thought about quitting.
Thought about quitting, but also like these brutal physical situations.
Right, where he knows how to endure.
Where he knows how to endure. But can you imagine the fear? You can't see anything. Water's everywhere. You all of a sudden you're locked. You're like, am I locked in this thing? I can't get out. And then all the water gets sucked out. You're like, okay, I can breathe.
So how did he get out?
I guess they stopped it and they went down there. And I guess they grabbed
So they knew he was in there.
I think, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I can't speak for him, but I think that's what happened.
God.
And now they've put grates there. And now there's grates at all the wave pools, so that would never happen. But the fact that they let people surf without the fucking grates, imagine getting sucked down a tube. Like,
You see all the bruises on him? Wild shit, man.
and like
It's his whole
infections and
body.
shit. Yeah. But like that's fucking Mario Brothers shit. Like
yeah, right. Like a game, like Saw, like you
literally.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Gnarly, right?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, heavy shit, man.
That's heavy.
Heavy shit. But yeah, I guess I need to keep doing things. See? Take that, North Korean lady. That's a real story about struggle. So that was the most entertaining, depressing fucking podcast, bro. Oh my God. Do you think it's all real?
Oh, it's 100% real.
'Cause I
Bro,
was
she's
reading
so
some shit.
small. She's so small from lack of food. Like she's
Not all of her, Joe.
yeah. Well, I think that was after the fact. I think that was I think a doctor was involved.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because
But
I honestly,
shaking her hand.
I almost started making my girl eat rats after I saw her, dude. I saw her talk on that podcast. All I ate is rats. I was like, oh, did ya?
It was mostly grasshoppers. I think.
Grasshoppers?
Yeah.
Whatever, fry them
Yeah.
up, dude.
Yeah, I get it.
She came out of North Korea stacked.
Yeah, she's definitely. She's
But
like
you believe
80
all of it?
pounds. Yeah.
Because there's some like discrepancy in the stories.
And what
Apparently.
How so?
I was reading some article, and it said like she'd mixed things up, and her mom was saying this, and her mom was saying they really had it. They were balling in North Korea, like she had like a fucking Chanel bag and shit like that. Apparently, she's
No
on
one's
this.
balling in North Korea.
Son, that's what the mom said. Like,
No. No one is balling in North Korea. Like, there's no way. It doesn't happen. There's no one balling in North Korea.
Bro.
They're starving to death.
How do we
a fact.
know? We don't go.
First of all, the lady's 80 pounds. She's a grown woman that's 80 pounds.
Koreans are not the biggest.
Yeah, but the way she's built is like, it's odd.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a malnutrition thing.
I believe it. Don't get me wrong, but
What don't you agree?
I just heard. I'm reading this article is saying like because she's I guess on a show in South Korea that is
Yes.
full of people who got out,
Yes.
right? And like
They were calling her like the Paris Hilton of North Korea.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
so
she talked about that on the podcast.
yeah. So I don't know. There are a couple different the discrepancies of stories between like what her mom said and like
What did her
whether
mom
she-
say that was?
I don't know, but there's an article. I forget what it is. I think the
You got
Diplomat
one
put
thing you
out an
have to
article.
think about is that there's a tremendous amount of propaganda that gets released by the North Koreans, is particularly to discredit people that have escaped. And not many have escaped, and they can't escape now because they set up landmines. So
Whoa.
yeah, so if you get past the fence, you blow up.
Whoa.
Like if you try to run, you get through the fence. If they don't shoot you and they do try to shoot you,
Yeah.
you're gonna step on a landmine and fucking blow up.
Yeah, it's wild, man. But again, we don't know what it's like over there because we haven't gone.
Every single person who's escaped tells the same story. They all talk about the camps, and they all talk about how if your grandfather's done something, you'll be born in these camps, and that you have like multiple generations
Get punished
of
for
guilt.
the crime. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
that shit is real. I
Okay,
mean,
it's real.
yeah. The fact that he murdered his own uncle, and he does blow people up with missiles. They have had public executions
Yeah.
where he literally will have someone tied up
Yeah.
and they shoot a missile at them.
You can do that with cows. I think in Cambodia, you can shoot a rocket launcher at a cow.
Really?
Yeah.
They allow you to, or
Yeah.
you could pay for it.
No, it's like you pay for it. It's like a carnival.
It's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But I could see them doing it with people in North Korea.
I
'cause
know
not a lot
that
of food.
someone in North Dakota sent me this thing where they were shooting, what's that? Prairie dogs.
Mm.
They hate prairie dogs because prairie dogs create holes in the ground and horses step in the holes and snap
Break
their
their
legs.
legs. Yeah.
So they were shooting prairie dogs with 50 caliber guns,
Yeah.
which is a bullet like the size of your fist.
I like that. I like that. That's American.
Bro, they just literally evaporate.
I think that that's cool.
Do you?
I think that that's cool. I'm into it. I also wonder if this girl, I wonder if it's like a bit. Like, you know how like a bit works and you just keep on adding to it? Like, and she's just cultivating the best bit. Like, yes, it's fucked up in North Korea. All these things happened. Maybe it's not fucked up. I don't know, right?
Oh, it's fucked up there.
What if it's okay? What if it's Cleveland? You don't think it's possible? You don't think it's possible it's Cleveland? I know we got an Ohio boy here, but like, what is it possible? It's just Cleveland?
There's been documented cases of cannibalism there, where
Have you been to
people
Cleveland?
eat people. Is that?
They had didn't the guy have the girl in the basement that they had kids with? 3 girls in a basement you're having kids with. That's crazier
right.
than cannibalism.
No, it's not crazier than cannibalism, but it's also crazy.
I would eat a human before I'd have 3 girls in a basement and have kids with them.
That's a good point.
Right? I mean, like,
Right,
if you're
especially a person that's already dead.
yeah.
Right, like a person drowns, and then you're really hungry,
And you
pull
eat
them
it.
out of the water, and you're like, "Well, I am hungry."
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Again, I don't know. I've never ate human. I don't want to
It
do
really
it.
depends on how the person died, right? Like if you're in that, what's that movie where they crashed a plane? They scoop out of that
Alive.
guy's butt with a spoon.
Wait, what?
That's what they scooped his butt with a spoon. Went into the butt cheeks, pulled his pants down, and just dug in there with a spoon to take scoops of his ass.
I thought
That's how
that
they
was
ate 'em.
a Cuomo thing. I thought that.
I'm Italian. I scoop your ass.
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure she went through some fucking absolutely horrible shit, but we have this like hard on for North Korea. I don't understand it.
Because it's a brutal dictatorship that keeps its people starving.
Aren't they all?
No, that's
Like, how
the worst.
many of them are there?
That's the worst.
Really?
Yeah, it's the worst one, and it's kept afloat by China. Yeah, there's a lot that's documented about North Korea that's undeniable. Their atrocities are pretty intense, especially the camps. The way they have these camps set up. The way if you see the video of them crying when Kim Jong-un died, or Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un's dad. Kim Jong-il died, and if you didn't cry hard enough, you get sentenced to 6 months of hard labor.
Whoa.
So these people are wailing in the streets, like performatively wailing for days. Like, it's wild. See if you can find videos of people. You need to watch this. Watch this. Oh, there's no sound? Yeah, that's what I hear.
I'm just like, I'm
Put
such
this
a
on.
fucking skeptic, Joe. I'm like, is there
Look at
sound?
this. Yeah. They're just crying forever. You have to keep crying.
Yeah. There's some nice jackets.
Look at they all step. Look at this.
She's got a scarf. It's pretty nice.
Look at this, man.
I see a lot of teeth, Joe.
Not
I see a
that
lot of
lady.
teeth. Now she's got all her teeth. Clean streets.
Look at this, man. She's getting down on her knees, man. She's really putting in the work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she
I mean,
wants
this
it.
is the thing. It's like it never ends. It's performative.
Yeah.
It goes on and on and on and on. And you have to exhibit a very high level of mourning.
She's got fur on her jacket, Joe.
It's not real fur.
Still faux fur.
She's got her hair did.
She does. She got her hair dead. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, were they going to salons and shit? What's going on here? I think there might be. What if this is propaganda? What if this whole thing, like, what if South Korea is paying people to say some wild shit about North Korea so that we think North Korea is crazy? What if it's South Korean propaganda? Huh?
I don't think so.
What do you think about that?
I think you're
Third eye, bro.
you're in some strange territory.
That's-
I like your watch.
Oh, thank you.
What
dude.
is that?
Little AP.
Nice.
I got
Is it Audemars Piguet. How do you say that?
I don't know how to pronounce it, dude. I'm a total fraud.
Audemars Piguet.
Audemars Piguet.
Audemars Piguet. It's a beautiful watch, though.
Thank you,
It's
man.
beautiful. It's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
just fell apart in Miami, and I just started doing all
started
this
balling.
stuff. I started
That's what
balling.
I'm saying.
dude.
You look like you were balling a little down there.
Oh,
I
dude,
thought you were
that's
going to
fun.
stay there. I was hoping you were
You
going to stay
wanted me to
there.
stay.
Yeah,
You
I
wanted
did.
me to
I like
stay.
what you were doing down there, and I
That was
felt
fun.
like you could change the comedy scene in Miami.
It
you
would've
being
been
down
good.
there, you would have invited other degenerates to move down there
I
too,
know,
and they would all move down there and started wearing these Hawaiian shirts and big straw hats.
We leaned in, huh? Look at this asshole. How many buttons are unbuttoned? Look at it.
I love it.
Look
I
at
love it. I love it.
You know where I think we're gonna go? Well, this is what I want to do. I really liked going there. I'm curious about your take on this. So I was thinking of like doing like some shows in Europe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously if things are open or whatever, maybe come next summer. So I was like, what if we spent like a month and a half in like Italy and then did the shows on the weekends and then podcasts and stuff during the week? So it was almost like a shorter version of what we did in Miami.
You definitely could do that.
Be fun, right?
Yeah,
Like-
you could do that anywhere. How big is your crew? How many people do you travel with?
Yeah, I mean, I came with a fucking basketball team today.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah,
anymore.
I know, my bad.
We got insurance rules,
Yeah.
COVID rules.
There's probably maybe it would be 8 to 10 of us or something like that.
Yeah.
Just get like a big.
Why do you have
villa
so
or
many
some shit.
people that you travel with?
Well, we're doing the shows this weekend.
Right.
Dallas, Houston. So some
So
of the
you
guys.
have comics.
So it's comics. There's
How many? Who do you
Mark,
have with you?
Mark opens for me. Mark is the guy who co-wrote and co-created the Netflix special.
Right,
Brilliant guy. Hilarious comic. Mark Gagnon. And Alex does video. You met Alex. Alex directed the special.
Yep.
Vala is a new guy that we got on. That's not even his name, but we call him Vala. And so he's doing this like documentary about the tour that we're doing. And he also does a lot of video stuff for us. And then my boy Dove, the truffle. We call him the truffle.
What does he do?
He's our truffle pig. He finds the money, Joe.
He finds the money.
He finds the money.
How's he find the money?
He truffles it, man. He just finds the deals,
so
bro.
He's the guy that gets the deals.
He gets the deals, dude.
So he's the truffle pig.
He's the truffle pig. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to have a truffle pig, Joe.
I understand.
You know? Okay.
Have you seen
Yes,
this movie?
exactly.
Steve Bannon?
That's
No, it's Nick Cage.
Oh, so it was Cage.
so.
Looks like Steve Bannon. Come on, tell me it doesn't look like Steve Bannon.
Sorta.
A lot.
Yeah.
With the hair? Steve Bannon's got a
Yeah,
weird
that's
thing going on
Bannon.
with the hair. Do you think Bannon does acid? Like, I've been looking at him with his hair. I'm like, why
Yeah.
the long hair? You're this conservative fucking
Yeah.
hound. Like,
He's an odd looking guy. The
very
skin is
odd.
weird. Like
Very odd. Like,
Yeah.
like he boozes a lot. Maybe he knows too many things.
Definitely boozing. Definitely
Yeah,
boozing.
he like he maybe knows too many things.
Yeah, they all know too many things. It's like you have to
Yeah,
be.
that's
Look
what
at
I'm
him.
saying.
Yeah,
Come on, that guy gets hammered.
yeah. That's Tim Dillon's dad.
100%. Yeah.
Look at that.
Tim Dillon, fully vaccinated, got the cooties.
Can we say it?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
saying it.
He knows it. Okay.
He didn't tell
good.
me not to say it.
God. Dude, get better, Tim. We can't have you all delted
Yeah,
up, man.
He must be protected. He
Yeah,
must
we
be
have to
protected.
protect him. We have to protect
That
him.
guy is a national treasure.
Yeah, he's great.
Did you see the fucking the latest?
The articles?
People are freaking out in Australia
Oh, it's
because
so
he was talking
funny.
shit about Australia.
It's so funny.
It's like they used to be in lockdown. They like it because they could just get drunk in their backyard.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people in Australia are like,
How
what is
dare
he saying?
you?"
How dare he? But here's the thing, man. They've had 9 deaths since like last October.
Right.
Their lockdowns are fucking preposterous, and that's what happens when you take guns away from people.
Yeah.
Take guns away from the citizens. They
Okay.
took all their guns in the 90s.
Yeah.
Look at this. American comedian
This
jokes
is hilarious.
Australians love lockdowns because they're lazy descendants of criminals who don't want to work, and restrictions aren't that bad
It's
because they
amazing.
just want to get hammered in their backyards.
I love it. I love it. Every time that they take him seriously and they print it in like a newspaper or an article.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Dylan has a point, as opinion polls consistently show overwhelming support for lockdown-happy premiers like Western Australia's Mark
Mark
McGowan.
McGowan.
Even Daniel Andrews, at the heart of Victoria's 5-month outbreak last year, approved of his ultra-harsh Stage 4 lockdown. It's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
So they're
But
back to lockdown
Yeah,
in Australia.
They're not just lockdown; they're crazy lockdown.
Oh.
My buddy Michael Chavello, who's from there, he lives there.
Okay.
He told me that every time he goes there, he has a 14-day quarantine.
That's Izzy.
Because he does, yeah, very similar. But Chavello does a lot of traveling because he works for 1FC. He's the 1FC color commentator. guy. He does my job for 1FC.
1FC, okay,
Well,
yeah.
he actually is like the play-by-play guy.
Okay.
But either way, point being, he's a
Yeah.
commentator for 1FC, and he's gone back and forth there so many times that he has to, every time he go, I think he told me he spent like some insane amount of time over the last year
Just
and a half.
quarantining.
Just quarantine.
Why go back?
Well, he has to. It's his
He has
job.
kids and stuff,
His kids.
or-
He's got a wife.
Yeah.
It's
That's
his-
the tricky thing. It's
Yeah.
like, yes, like every time Izzy fights, it's so funny to watch his Instagram after.
Yeah.
Because he's just locked in a hotel room with
Yeah,
these
going
other
crazy.
MMA guys going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And you see it happen. And it's
Well,
like,
this doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
this 14-day shit. Like, why 14 days?
yeah, we work after 10, right?
Bro, it should be a few. They should just test you.
Yeah.
They should test you. Are you negative? How you feeling?
You outta here.
Test you 5 days later. Are you negative? How you feeling?
Yeah.
Feeling good? Looking good?
Yeah.
Did you work out today?
Yeah.
How you feel? After 5 days, like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
You know?
I have a question. What's the Lambda variant?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Have you
But
learned about that
the
yet?
fear is that it's that it doesn't. The vaccines don't work on it at all. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's no bueno.
Well, it's a respiratory virus.
Might have to sell this watch, Joe.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
No, yeah, because I keep hearing this thing about the Lambda.
Let me tell you something with my
Yeah.
buddy who got COVID.
Yeah.
He got on the monoclonal antibodies,
Okay.
and he said literally the first day he started feeling a little shitty. He said, "Man, I hope I don't have it." He got tested, found out he has COVID. There's places in Austin where you can go to get monoclonal antibodies.
Okay.
Killed it. Like the day he got tested, he found out he got the monoclonal antibodies. Never had another symptom.
Huh.
Yeah, amazing.
Huh.
But he's a young guy. He's like 30-ish.
Yeah.
He's in his 30s, real fit, works out a lot.
That's the tricky thing about COVID is like, I feel like it's like the opposite of crypto in that like, how do I phrase this? Like, you know how like our risk tolerance is greater when there's like a really great reward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like Like all my friends were like having money in crypto. I don't know anything about investing. Like I'm a fucking baboon when it comes to money. Like I'm like Scrooge McDuck. Like I just put it in a fucking bank. I don't know what happens with it. I'm bad with it. But they were making all this money in crypto, and I was like, well, this is worth investing because there's 10x return, 100x return, 1000x. I will risk the money because there's a massive potential return, right? And I did it like the day before the shit collapsed. I put too much money in, and then
it collapsed.
It collapsed. Literally the week I put money in. I had this guy, Anthony Pompliano, on the fucking podcast. He's the big Bitcoin guy, just jerking off Bitcoin all the time. It's actually entertaining. He's a sweet guy. But he's a piece of shit. He lost me a lot of money. But he's a sweet guy. I like him.
Is it his fault, you think? Or
Say
your
again?
fault?
It's my fault. I'm a fucking idiot.
Also, because
I got greedy.
You went on the podcast and talked about it, so it probably jacked the price up.
I brought him
and
on
then
the
people
pod.
were like, now's the time to sell right after your pod.
I fucking caused it. I
Because
caused the crypto
It probably
dip.
went up to a good height.
Oh,
I think
huge.
crypto gets to a certain height and people are like, yeah, now. And then boom, it crashes.
That's
right?
the thing I was thinking about crypto. Well, I'll make this risk tolerance thing, but then I'm curious about it. So it's like, there's such a high reward. Like even with you, like all the shit you do. Like you're always like, I'm a Mexican science experiment. You always say that shit to me, right? And it's like, because there's high reward. You could do all these things. You don't know if they're fucking FDA approved, but the reward that comes with them is huge. Right? You could live forever. I don't know. I think the tricky thing for people with the vaccine is like, I think most people are not afraid of COVID, so they're like, it's only risk. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like before, when I got the shit, it was reward. It was like, wait, we can't go out to eat, but if I get this, I get to go out to eat. I get to be normal. I get to not wear the mask. Like, oh, that's reward. That's worth the risk. I get to have a life again.
Right.
But these motherfuckers gave people their lives, and now they're saying, take this. And it's like, where's the reward? You're saying I take it and I still might be able to get it? Like, if you want us to risk, you got to give us big upside. And I feel like it works with crypto because there's potential big upside. But with the vaccine, you got to convince motherfuckers there's something. And unfortunately, it's not enough upside to go, you'll help your neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, that's not enough for us.
Yeah, but if you're still able to catch it and you're still able to transmit it,
There's no fucking upside.
it's confusing.
But
It's
do you
very
see what I'm saying? Like,
confusing.
I think that's the trepidation for a lot of people, especially the ones who haven't taken it yet. It's just like, I don't see why this is beneficial, but I do see why it's potentially risky.
Have you known anybody that had a bad side effect?
From the virus?
Vaccine.
The vaccine? No, not a single person.
Really?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why, have you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, what happened?
Heart attacks.
Turn gay?
That's a positive side effect in my book, you piece of shit.
I never said it was bad.
Yeah, you did.
Did
That's
I?
What he said. Didn't you hear him?
Oh, I thought you said hard side effects. Dude, what if you just turn gay until the antibodies wear off?
Fine.
3 months.
Yeah.
3 months of gay, dude?
Eddie Bravo and I were joking around about that once. Like, imagine if that was like a side effect of an MMA fight. If you got KO'd,
And then
you were
boom.
gay.
Dude.
You're gay until you got it back.
There's some rubber guard. I'll show you something flexible, Eddie.
Imagine if like sexuality was something that you could literally like beat into somebody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, sexuality, no. But imagine it was. Like, that would put higher stakes on a fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, super
Yeah.
high. You get knocked out and you're
Like
just,
your wife would be like, I can't fucking believe you're gay. Like, baby, listen.
I'm going to get knocked out
It's
again.
only
It'll
like
straighten me
6
out.
months. I'm gay for 6 months.
This is how we solve everything.
Can you imagine?
Dude, you do 6 months, 6 months gay.
6 months gay.
Or it can be like, it can be punishments and stuff like that. Like, if you're gay and you commit a crime, 6 months straight, bro.
Yeah.
You're fucking pussy for 6 months, dude.
No.
Tell
no,
that to your
no,
husband.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm saying you actually become gay or straight.
But just for the punishment, just for the time.
Well, we were talking outside about, I had this conversation with a guy where I was saying, imagine if gender dysphoria can be cured with a pill.
Yeah.
Do you think people would take it and not be trans? He goes, no, they would think of it as genocide.
Just from everything I've heard from trans people, I don't know, because what I've heard from them is this is the best solution they have for the problem, right? They're like, I feel like I'm in the wrong body. There's not some shit to fix that.
Yeah.
So I got to get the right body because that's the best fix,
Right.
right? So if there's a pill that fixes it, you don't think they're taking it?
Well, the pill would make them be comfortable with the gender of their birth.
Yeah.
maybe they wouldn't. Because maybe in their mind, like, they should be a woman. If the pill lets them be comfortable being a man, maybe they wouldn't like it. That's what he was saying. What Jesse was saying, it was like, they would think of it as genocide. Like, you're killing off all the transgender people by creating this medical solution.
Bro, that's literally like the plot line for one of the Marvel movies for X-Men. Literally X-Men.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, that's
For
one of the
real?
plot lines. Remember the movie? I forget which one it was, where there was a guy who was curing the mutants, and he was going around. He was like shooting them with
that's
serum,
right.
and then they
That's
lose their
right.
mutant powers.
That's right. I thought there was a gay thing in there.
No,
A trans
not.
thing there.
They're not turning
Yo,
Wolverine
speaking of
gay.
Super, have you seen Suicide Squad?
No, good.
It's fucking great.
Really?
The new one is
That guy James
The
Gunn.
new one's way better than the last one.
James Gunn is a beast.
It's really good. Who directed the first one?
I don't think James Gunn. Snyder?
Who was the first one? The first one was kind of whack.
Was it Snyder? No?
It was
Do we know
kind
who
of
it
whack.
was? I didn't watch it.
The first one's kind of whack.
I didn't
didn't
watch
like it. But
the second
fucking
one's
new
legit.
one is amazing.
That
It's
guy is
fun.
talented, bro. I think he's the guy that did Guardians of the Galaxy,
Exactly.
and he got canceled.
Yes.
because he had a bunch of
He had
tweets
some
about
jokes.
jokes.
Pedophile jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like from 10 years ago.
But they collected all of them. That's the thing. Like, if you collect everything over a decade and put it
yeah.
all together on like one image, it
Yeah.
looks wild.
Yeah.
But if you space it out with everything else you tweeted,
But they eventually rehired him.
because motherfucker was undeniable, he went and he played for the ops. I think he did a DC movie, and then they're like, and it was nice. So they were like, okay, hold on. We're not allowed.
Is that what he did? He did a DC movie? What movie was that? You got to talk in front of that microphone. So
Yeah.
I don't have
Yo,
the
Jamie,
full
you used to
info
know
yet.
shit,
I
dog.
thought
What
he was
happened,
a
bro?
professional.
You got that Pfizer? Yo, you got that
No,
Pfizer,
he got
Jamie.
natural immunity, bro.
Oh, he's got natural immunity?
Strong natural immunity.
Got that Ohio
Really?
blood. Actually, Suicide Squad is a DC movie. That's what it was.
Yes.
Because he's O?
Jamie?
Yeah. You're O.
OH?
You're OH? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, North Korea can't be worse than Ohio, man. Facts. I'm
right,
being
all
dead
right.
serious,
All
dog.
right.
I've been,
Ohio.
you haven't been to Ohio
I
lately.
go to Ohio all the time.
How often you go to Ohio?
Once or twice a year.
Okay.
It's been 2 years, though.
It's been 2 years,
Oh,
Joe.
wow. Has it got worse?
Listen, bro.
What
It's been
happened?
2 years, dude.
What
If you think
happened
guys
there?
are running around in
Something happened
thongs
in
and
2
shit with
years?
knives out here in Austin, see what's happening in Ohio, bro. Dog,
That guy with the thong seems like he's just having a good time. He's probably in a band.
he was having a great time.
Well, you were in Cleveland. That's different.
I was in no. Do
I
you
like
know,
Cleveland.
No, Cleveland's fine. Cleveland's great. You know the craziest place that I went to in America? St. Louis.
Yeah?
That was the first time that I saw poverty in America that I didn't know that we had. I was like blown away. I was baffled. I was on my way to the airport and I just saw a neighborhood and I was like, if you make it out of this neighborhood, that is the greatest accomplishment that a human being could possibly do. I mean, no, like the guy who was driving me used to own a Domino's in the neighborhood, got shot 4 times because they were just robbing the fucking Domino's. So the neighborhood is so dangerous, it can't support commerce. And when there's no commerce, there's no jobs. So there's nothing. The gas stations were closed. It was Sunday. Church wasn't open. Things boarded up. I mean, it was unbelievable, the level of poverty. And I was just like, oh, okay. Things are going on here. Things are going on here that are like, it's just incredibly different.
How do you fix that?
Bro, you can't. If it's so dangerous,
Yeah.
like the delivery guys were getting shot all the fucking time. Like, if you can't put money into it, like if there's no opportunity, there's no place where a kid can work when he's 16, you know, or a kid can get a job when he finishes high school. Like, how do you fix that?
Did you see that all the cops in Chicago turned their back on the mayor?
Lightfoot, Lori Lightfoot?
Yeah.
How is she not Native American, bro? That name would be fire.
Right?
Lori Lightfoot?
Right.
Dude.
That's a good point.
I think she
Yeah.
can go with that.
She could be in like one of them superhero movies as like some crazy Native American superhero character.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but what happened? So the cop said, nah.
Well, you know, a female cop who just gave birth like 2 months ago. She's just got off maternity leave. She got gunned down, and Lori Lightfoot gave some terrible speech about it.
What'd she say?
It's a terrible statement, like very unsupportive. It was find a statement because it was disgusting. It was like we've got a problem with gun violence, and you know we also have a problem with the police, but we have a problem with gun violence. Like it was very dismissive of this lady who got gunned down in cold blood. You see that video? There's a video this last week or 2 weeks ago of there was some sort of a fender bender. People got in an argument. They pulled this guy out of the car and they shot him and the wife in the face, like right in front of everybody.
Where is
on the
this?
street? Chicago. Bro, Chicago's
Wild. Chicago's wild.
Wild.
And now it's starting to kind of creep into where the white folks live.
Oh, really?
And now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Oh,
when
is
people
it?
are getting shot on, what's that main street in Chicago? The Loop or something
Yeah.
like that, the Western Loop or whatever it is. Like when that's when there's real problems.
People getting shot in the loop.
Or
You
there's
like
like-
to move those things around, don't you?
Yeah, always.
Makes a lot of noise.
Why, does it bother people?
It does. They get upset.
Oh, you
People
do
touch
that
the
thing
mic.
where like you mute it.
You mute it?
No, you press like a button over here when you're
wanna-
coughing and
like
shit.
It's just like you have a tick.
Yeah.
You like want to walk in.
I don't like sitting still, bro. You know what I mean? I don't like sitting
can
still,
tell.
dog. I don't like
I
it,
can
dude.
tell.
I
You
do it
sit
for a
down,
living.
You like to cross your legs and move around. And
Dude, I get excited. I'm having fucking Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah.
Like, you decide to give me this.
there's a lot of caffeine in this. 300 milligrams.
I was chilling. I was relaxed.
These are veterans. They don't give a fuck.
They don't.
They're wild people.
Yeah.
300 milligrams. They're like, let's go.
Yeah. What's this guy's name again?
Evan Hafer.
Evan.
Yeah.
Okay. It's wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what were we saying?
COVID's not real. I think you said.
Yeah, COVID. You were saying COVID's not real?
No.
And
You said that.
no,
it makes
said
you gay.
It makes you gay. COVID does make you gay, though. 100%, dude. You're shoving things in different parts of your body you never thought you would. COVID will get you poked up, bro.
So you're in town for you're doing San Antonio. What are you doing?
doing Dallas,
Dallas?
And Houston there.
Dallas and Houston.
Yeah.
What are you doing down there? Which clubs?
I'm doing the Toyota Music Factory in Dallas
Nice.
and the Bayou Music Center in Houston.
Oh, those are good spots.
Yeah,
those are
yeah,
good
yeah.
spots. I've done both of those.
Yeah.
I did the Bayou. It's a great spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone, I think I was talking to who said they saw you do a show there. It was
It's
fucking
fucking
crazy.
fun, man.
Yeah, I'm excited,
Houston's fun, but Dallas is fun too.
man.
I love it here, man. Texas is the shit.
Yeah.
I found my spot.
You think so? Mm-hmm. I'm not sold on Austin.
You don't have to be. There's plenty of people here. Come visit occasionally.
No, I'm shooting the special here.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it in L.A., but I just couldn't trust that they would keep the shit open.
I have a show there September 11th.
Canceled?
At the Forum. I have no idea if it's going to happen or not.
You just
They're
can't
gonna
risk
force
it.
everybody to take the jab before they get in there.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. Like what
Yeah.
New York is doing. You have to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're still spreading it.
Yeah.
Like, talk to Timmy.
Yeah, I know. Poor fucking guy.
Vaccinated and sick.
Yeah.
I know 13 people now. He's number 13.
That have
13
been
people.
vaccinated and got it.
I read this article with we have no idea how leaky these vaccines are, meaning how many people who get
Yeah.
vaccinated still catch it. Like, well, let me give you some data.
What if but Timmy's a bigger guy, like
Yes, that's why it scares me. Because
Okay.
I know a lot of people that were small that got it.
okay,
that are
that's
healthy.
the thing. So you're
Smaller
small
folks.
in shape. What
Yeah.
about what if the lambda comes through? What if that
Well, the
lambda
lambda.
comes through?
Let's find out if that is the case. Is that supposedly true that it doesn't? You know, one thing. Here's interesting. A bunch of people I was around got the COVID, and I didn't. But I did have a day where I was feeling kind of weird.
Yeah, and you bullied it out of you.
I worked out, and I was like, oh, something feels odd. So I just got like a light sweat. I've done this twice now.
Okay.
But this time afterwards, I got blood work done, like a week or so afterwards, and my level of monocytes was elevated.
What's that?
That's it indicates you fought off a viral infection.
So you.
So I had it at the door, and the bouncer's like, "Not today, bitch, not today."
And you think that's the peptides?
I think it's a lot of things. Peptides, I'm sure, help. I think testosterone replacement therapy helps. I think staying
Are you on
physically
TRT?
fit. Oh yeah, son.
I
Oh,
got to get
yeah.
on this shit.
I talked to you about this on the podcast. You were going to get on it. Lambda is mutations that are concerning, but this variant remains quite rare in the U.S. despite being around for several months. Yeah, well, these people sneak it in at the border. They're just letting them in. It's difficult to know for certain how transmissible lambda is and how well the vaccines work. So far, it seems the lambda is more transmissible than the original.
Where's it from? Can we ask that, or is that
Lambda.
wrong?
It's from Lambda.
It's from Lambda.
I
It's
think
definitely
that-
it's definitely from the land of Lambda.
Peru?
Where is it?
Peru.
Peru? Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. There you go. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
What is the deal with people that go through the border?
Yeah.
Because I was watching this video where someone was showing me a line of family members that were in cars waiting to pick up people that were released from detainment centers after they had crossed the border illegally. So they're
Asylum.
in America.
Yeah.
Is it all people that receive asylum?
If they're saying they're seeking asylum, and I guess maybe they could prove that they are.
How many people are allowed to come through that have asylum, and do they test those people?
I have no clue.
I bet
I
bet they
don't.
don't.
So you think that lambda's coming through the border?
I think if you get enough people coming through the border and you don't test them,
Yeah.
it just makes sense that some of those people are probably sick with all kinds of stuff.
That's kind of interesting because, like, I think in order to come into America, you need to have a COVID test, a negative COVID test. Like, if you're coming from Europe, you need to have negative
if you're
COVID
coming
test.
legally.
So if you're coming illegally, you don't think that they test them in any way?
I don't think they do.
I mean,
Let's
that's
find
ridiculous.
out. I
Jamie?
think it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I remember watching a politician talk about, it might have been our governor, Greg Abbott. He might have been talking about it.
Man, wheels.
If they're coming illegally, how would they test them?
Well, no,
Well,
you're
they
saying,
do
like,
have them
somewhere,
in
like, hey,
detainment
they get
centers.
scooped.
Oh,
They get
those-
scooped, and
okay,
then,
I
but they
gotcha.
got to test them in there because,
I don't think they do.
I mean, that'd be crazy.
Let's
Joe.
ask.
Yeah.
Do they test illegal immigrants when they capture them and put them in detainment centers? Capture's a bad word, right?
It is, but it is a bad word, but it's more fun.
But if they have to be a fugitive to be captured, these people are just folks trying to get a better life.
That is true. That is true. But if you were going to go out that day, do you want to, like, detain folks trying to get a better life or capture people? Like, if that was your job and you were getting, like, psyched
capture,
up?
Capture
is,
because
yeah.
it makes you feel like you're doing a good thing.
Babe, I got to go capture some guys.
You're not
Yeah.
a piece of shit. It's just trying to stop folks from having a better life.
The Tacoma Processing Center does test people.
The Tacoma, Washington?
I mean, I just typed in.
That's the
That's
fucking
way
that's
up
Washington
north, dog.
State.
Yeah, that's
I-
Canadians.
What the fuck
They're
is
catching
going up
Canadians.
I
there?
understand
Canadians
that.
don't even have COVID.
Yeah,
But
they
the
can't
border
get
just opened there also, and they
In
sometimes.
Tacoma?
No, the northern border just opened. because
Like
it's
Tacoma and
close to-
Idaho. Right, the northern
Oh, yeah,
border.
they've had Canada
but
locked down,
the
bro.
border that people are concerned about, the last thing they're concerned about is Canadians coming to America.
I know, but don't people come in through the Canadian border when it was open? They go to Mexico or Mexicans, I've heard, go up to Canada and come down through the northern border.
They
because it's
probably
easier.
did in the past, but I believe it's very difficult to even fly into Canada up until.
Yeah, these people
they
don't have the
just
money
opened
to
up
fly. Like, they're not doing
Yeah.
international flights.
Yeah, they're
you know?
walking through a river, Jamie.
Yeah.
I just typed in
You're
testing
so
at
white.
detainment center, and that's the first story that popped up.
I find you so offensive.
All right.
Your insensitivity to these people and their plight.
Yeah. You're a
He
real
goes straight to the whitest place in the world,
Tacoma,
Washington.
Washington. Disgusting, bro.
Tacoma's not a state.
Really disgusting, dude. Some
Tacoma's
real.
that comedy club out there is supposed to
Great.
be really fun.
It's great. I did it. Yeah, I did it back in the day.
I've only worked Tacoma once.
Yeah, I'm
But-
not a big fan of the Northwest.
You not?
No, Portland, I think, might be the worst city on the planet. Yeah, I would blow up Portland. I'd gladly blow up Portland.
Is it because of Antifa?
No,
Is
no,
what
I
is it?
actually like them. Anybody doing destruction to Portland, I support. 100%.
What bothers you so much about Portland?
Just some fucking cunt in a restaurant was
One
really
lady?
mean to me. It was one lady, and then the rest of them are just soggy. They're just like
They are
It's like
soggy.
white people need fucking like religion or something. Dude.
They need
just
sun.
They need sun. There's no sun. There's no like check on them. There's no like at least like there's no sun in fucking Boston, but at least you got like God looking down. Like, can you kind of be fucking decent?
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
there's
mean?
plenty of sun in Boston in comparison
Are
to
there?
Seattle. Yeah, it's not that bad.
Well,
I
whatever they
grew up
need.
there.
They
It's not
need
that
some
bad.
shit. They need some fucking shit because it's just like rude, depressed, like. And weirdly enough, the comedy crowds there are great because I think those are the people that are like, yeah, it sucks here. Just make us laugh, please.
Yeah.
But like the average dude, I went into this fucking restaurant. It was me and the boys, and they didn't have any like seating. So I asked the lady behind the counter who worked there. I was like, "Hey, could you recommend another place for us to go eat? You know, some seating or something like that?" And she was, "Yeah, sure. Do you have a phone?" And I go, "Yeah." I take out the phone. She's like, "Google it."
Whoa. She's trying to be snarky.
I mean,
That's a lack of vitamin D. That's what that is.
Is
She's
that?
depressed. Yeah.
unbelievable. You could treat another human like that,
Yeah.
right? I'm just asking you. I'm just asking for a favor.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, just fucking
A lot of
everybody
people
like.
think it's okay to be a cunt.
Yeah, it's not okay.
No.
It was just rude. And I had no
especially when you're
comeback
nice
to.
to her.
I was super nice. Hey, could you recommend I'm in your city, you know, you come to New York, I want you to have a good time. You know, I'm gonna say I'm gonna be a good ambassador of the city.
Yeah.
Set up a reservation for you somewhere, tell you where to get a good slice of pizza, you know?
Right.
Can you recommend another city? Look it up on your phone. Just Google it. That's what she said.
Wow.
And I was so caught off guard, I had no comeback. And I just fucking slumped and walked out like a bitch. And I think I didn't like that about myself either.
Oh, so now you hate Portland.
Yeah. It's probably a decent place.
It's like if you get beat up somewhere in high school, you never want to go back.
Never want to go back.
No.
Yeah. But I will go back and just trash it. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Do you ever work there?
Yeah. I was working there.
But do you ever go back since then?
I will.
And you're going to fuck with them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Their mayor is the most useless mayor of all time.
What's the deal?
He's hilarious. He was supporting Antifa,
started
and he would
trashing
go
him,
on
I
the
saw
street with them, and he would go march with them, and then they started tear gassing his house and fucking lighting his apartment building on fire. He had to move. And then finally, now he turned the other way, and he's like, turn these people in, turn them into the cops. I'm like, bitch, you defunded the cops.
Yep.
Like, you were on their side, stupid.
Yeah.
He's like super progressive, and they're like, not progressive enough. We want your resignation.
Yeah.
Because you can't, these people are not being reasonable. There's not a discussion to be had. They want to burn it to the ground.
That's the thing.
They're losers.
That's the thing they don't get is like people think they want change. They don't want change. They want to complain. People like complaining. There's a lot of value in complaining.
These people have had no success in their life ever.
Yeah.
So they see structures, they see courthouses, they see the mayor's apartment building. They want to burn it all to the ground. They're all these dumpy losers that look like bowling pins with hats on. They're gross people.
Yes.
And they want to light everything on fire.
This is how I felt.
Yeah.
The whole time I was there.
Yeah.
Keep going. This is great. Nope, like horrible posture. Nobody there has a good posture.
I had a buddy of mine, this is a funny story, who moved there and he was teaching jiu-jitsu. He was running 10th Planet Portland. And I went there to do a show, and I go, how do you like it here? And he goes, dude, I fucking love it. I go, really? I go, the rain doesn't bother you? He goes, no. He goes, not at all, man. I fucking love it. I really enjoy it here, man. He goes, the people are really cool. Everything's really green. I think it's a great trade-off. I'm like, wow, interesting. You know, hang out with him at my show. Then I see him a year and a half later in L.A., and I go, what are you doing here, man? He goes, I couldn't take it anymore. The fucking rain was killing me. I go, you son of a bitch. I go, you were selling it. You were selling it because you were trying to sell yourself.
Yeah.
So you're trying to suck me into it. That drives me nuts. Because when I tell somebody I like something, I've considered it deeply. Like if I tell someone I love Austin, I fucking love this place.
You love it.
I'm not lying.
You love it.
Love. I've never felt more at home.
Really?
I slip right in like a glove. Snap.
Okay.
Perfect. Love it here. Restaurants are amazing. People are friendly. Great comedy. You could do everything you want here. There's plenty of jiu-jitsu.
Tidy up a little. It could be tidied up a little bit.
Well, every place could be tidied up a little today.
This one could be a little bit more tidied up.
How about you, New Yorker?
New York is clean,
How about
bro.
that fucking
New York
place?
is clean, bro.
Yeah, well, they
New York
got
is
rid of all
clean.
the tents in front of the courthouses out here today. Or a couple days ago.
That's what I'm
all
talking
down
about.
Cesar Chavez. They cleaned all the tents.
Tidying up.
They're putting those folks in hotels.
Yeah.
The mayor is actually implementing plans.
I like
He's
this.
actually trying to make. He said that's his number one prerogative in the next year and a half that he's in office is to clean up the homeless problem. He goes, there's like 2,000-3,000 homeless people. He goes, that's workable. He goes, when it gets to where LA is. LA's
Why so
fucked.
many here? I don't understand it. They all come here?
It's a good spot. It's a good place to be.
There's other places in
You
Texas?
can beg. They're progressive. This is a progressive city.
Okay.
Very open-minded city.
Yeah,
They're-
'cause-
they're kind.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Not
Yeah,
a bad place to be homeless.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going on here.
Found a group, Vera.org, that says they're studying the testing at ICE detention centers, and they're not doing a lot, apparently.
Of course.
But they're not sharing the information. They're not sharing what they're doing. Let me rephrase that. They're not
Of
sharing
course,
what they're
because
doing.
there's so many people that are positive. I guarantee you.
Well, the first test they did, almost half the people they tested were.
So they did one
had it.
test
Yeah.
in May of 2020. ICE reported having tested 2,781 people in its custody with 1,461 positive tests at just 60 of more than 200 facilities. So they're letting in. So Greg Abbott, the governor, the great governor of the state of Texas, was correct.
Yeah.
They're letting in thousands and thousands of people who are positive with COVID.
Now, are they holding them there until they're negative?
That's what the next part says, that by day 60, 20% of the people will have contracted it. So if they didn't have it, they're going to get
They're
it.
going to get it. Oh,
So they're all
and
together.
even if you're negative when you get it day one,
You're going to get it because you're connected to all these people. They're shoved into these rooms where
that's
they're
a
trying to
great-
stop people from filming it.
That's a
Have
great
you seen
argument.
that? They're trying to stop them from filming it.
Yeah.
Like Ted Cruz was down there. They said, you can't film this. And he goes, you can't just tell me what I can and can't film.
Yeah.
But the Biden administration doesn't want to be connected to holding kids in cages the way the Trump administration was. But the Trump administration at least let people go down there and film it and complain about it.
Yeah.
Whereas the Biden administration's like, well, we don't see it. We don't see it. It's not happening. They won't let you film it.
who do you think is making the decisions in the Biden administration?
Some fucking masked marvel that lives in the basement. Like it's the bankers. It's
not Biden.
Special interest. No, it's not shit. Well, 106% of Americans have been vaccinated. We're in 380 billion people.
Legend, bro.
He's out of his mind.
I love it when he says numbers because I
It's
know it's going to be
amazing.
crazy. Anytime there's numbers, my ears perk up. Like, go for it. Go for it.
Go for it.
All 2 billion Americans have been vaccinated. We're like, let's go.
He said more than 106% of Americans have been vaccinated. That's not even possible. You fuck.
I love it. Let's go.
He's so
Just run.
He's so lost. And people go, well, you have to understand he stutters. No!
No.
He's got dementia, you fuck. It's so clear. It's so clear. You guys are so full of shit. You're so partisan. You're so pro-Democrat. You wanted Trump out so bad. You voted a man on death's door. He's got 1 foot on a skateboard and 1 on a banana peel.
Fucking corpse.
What does he say?
Unvaccinated.
Here, give me
So we have to get more people
Go
vaccinated.
from the beginning, Jamie.
Of the unvaccinated. So we have to get more people vaccinated. I said, well over, what's the number again? I remind myself, 350 million Americans have already been vaccinated. They're doing fine.
Look at him.
I'm pleased to report the past week we've seen
Yeah, talk to Tim Dillon, bro.
Do you remember when? He said he was
smoke
talking about
stogies?
like let him up.
Light him up.
Yeah, I'd have a little drink of tequila actually.
Let's get
Yes, let's do it. I actually brought some for you.
What do you? Oh, you brought tequila? You
Fine,
fucking
it's your
animal.
birthday, bro.
Let's drink out of
Come
these
on.
cups.
Let's do it.
Dude, I got cigars with my face on them. Pow.
Oh, I want a Joe Rogan experience.
I'll get you a
cigar.
box.
Please.
I'll get you a box.
Actually, that'd be great.
These are from Foundation Cigars. Shout out to them.
Okay.
Okay, man. Chuca tequila? You're a tequila guy?
Yeah, if I can just fucking open it. No, I like tequila, man.
Here, I'll snip that one for you. You take that one.
Oh, thank you, dude. Switch?
Yeah. Which one? This
Oh,
one?
no, you snipped it. Thank you. Are you off the
What kind of
weed?
tequila you got? Am I off the weed? What am
No.
I, a communist? No. You fucking want me to be miserable?
Bro,
No,
this
I love
is
weed.
This is Sundays. I love these fucking guys.
Oh, okay.
I met this guy at Waco.
Oh, did you really?
I was surfing with him.
Oh, the Wakefield place.
Yeah, and they gave me here, try that. And they gave me
I
they
feel like I'm
hit me up.
cheating on Ron White.
Oh,
We have
it's all
number,
good, Ron.
Number 1. It smells good. I like a very plain bottle.
Dude, it's plain.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very
Simple
low-key,
branding.
simple.
I always tell him, I feel like I'm walking down like a random beach after a long night of partying. You know that scene in like a movie where it's just one guy with his shirt unbuttoned and there's just a glass bottle, old school style.
Pour yourself some of that.
Gang. Okay.
Cheers, my brother.
Cheers, brother. Okay. To Italy.
To Italy.
Okay.
Woo!
We lighting these up?
Yeah. Oh, tequila is always tequila.
Yep.
You know?
How do I do this? Oh, okay. That's it. Now, why did you do the cut in like that? Why did you do like
it's
the
just like
Pac-Man
this
thing?
one that does it. This
Okay.
thing, it's built in. I like it that way. I feel like you get more. You get a better pull. You know?
That's good. There we go.
That's a good fucking cigar, right?
That's a nice cigar. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a complete fraud. I don't know anything about cigars, but
I know very little. I know what I like, but I don't know shit about. Like, yeah, I've talked to people and they try to explain to me the blends. It's a Connecticut leaf on the wrapper, and but I know they taste good.
why is it that Cuban cigars are like the elite cigars?
It's a type of soil. The soil in this one particular area, but a lot of the Cubans that used to grow in this one particular area, they left and they went to Dominican Republic and
Right.
they went to Nicaragua. And there are some people, I don't know enough to tell you if this is true. There's some people that swear that what the mystique of Cuba, you know, there's still cigars that are amazing that come from Cuba. He said, but they're just as good from Nicaragua and from Dominican Republic. But it's just the idea of like getting something you can't get.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, like there's wealthy Chinese people
Yes.
that want to drink rhino horn tea.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. Like, we have rhino horn. Please come into my study and drink rhino horn. And I was like, wow, we are gangsters. We are fucking capitalists. We're pillaging. We're out here eating endangered species.
I like how you did an English accent.
We have rhino horn.
Yeah.
No, well, I was going to
Why
do a
is that
Chinese
you
accent,
can't
but I
do that?
panicked. What, a Chinese accent?
Well, like, why are there certain accents that you're allowed to do?
Well,
and
how come you
certain
can
you're
say
not?
Englishman, but you can't say Chinaman?
Why can't you say Chinaman?
Because it's bad.
No, if he's a man from China,
He's
a
an
Chinaman.
Irishman.
He's an Irishman?
No problem at all. No Irish people get offended.
Yes.
Say, look at that fucking Chinaman.
Yeah.
Whoa. You say, look at that fucking Irishman. You're like, yeah, look at him. Look at him go.
I always thought that way about, like, tranny. Mm-hmm. Because we say tranny for transmission. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's like, I don't understand why it's a bad word. Like
Cab driver.
Cab driver.
It's just shortened.
Yeah. I don't think it should be
like,
hateful.
you need to treat it with respect. But here's the thing about all those things.
But the accent, explain the accent thing to me. Like, why can I make fun of an Italian? Why can I do...
You can't do Chinese.
But I can do Jamaican.
You can do Jamaican, yeah.
And that's a different race.
Right, but you can't do black. Like black American.
You can't do
Kinda
because...
racist.
Yeah, because it's implying, like, all black people talk like that.
You're implying all Jamaicans talk like that?
Well, all Jamaicans have a Jamaican accent.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if it's like that.
Jamaican accent is like universally okay.
Yeah.
For even white people.
White people can do it.
You can do it.
I think that you can do Mexican still. I think you can do
Yeah.
Mexican accent still.
Yeah, you
but
can still do
Asian,
it.
for whatever reason, has become racist.
Yeah.
Indian, I think, is borderline. Like, you can kind of do it, but it's like getting there. I think
What
if you like
about
wobble your head, it's bad.
They pulled it off of The Simpsons.
What? Apu.
Apu.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And my Indian friends tell me that they think that's ridiculous. Like, that he was actually a really
Positive character.
positive character. Like, he owned a business. Like my boy Akash, I do the podcast with,
Mm-hmm.
Akash. And he was like, yeah, it's absurd. Like, I
White
finally
people
saw
guilt.
someone who looked like me. That's the thing. Like, stop doing this shit for people that don't ask for it.
Yeah,
Like, white people are
exactly.
trying to be fucking good people, and these different groups are not asking for it. It's like, I think that's the best art. You know how they say, like, you need diversity in the boardroom or whatever like that? Only so white people stop being so fucking white about it.
Right.
Like,
But here's the problem. If you get diversity in the boardroom, everybody's looking to move up. And unscrupulous people would recognize the fear and the opportunity, and they'll take advantage of it and say, I'm offended. You know, I think there should be more diversity on this board. I think there should be more representation. Why is there not more representation at the elite levels of executive? And then all of a sudden they get a promotion. And then they find themselves complaining their way to the top.
You can guilt
There's
your
a
way to
lot
the
of
top.
that in corporate world today. In a lot of corporate worlds today,
Yeah.
they have to address diversity because they're busy polluting rivers in Ecuador. Like they got to distract you. So like, look at all the lesbians we hired. It's so true. It's so true.
dude, it's a smoke screen.
It's a full smoke
It's a
screen.
smoke
Do you think
screen.
Halliburton with a fucking rainbow flag?
Yeah.
Do you think they give a fuck?
Yeah.
The fuck out of
They
here.
just paint the missiles rainbow? Well, it's not
Right
gay
delivery.
weddings we're blowing up. It's just straight patriarchal weddings.
They're using rainbow missiles in Yemen because those people have traditionally been anti-homosexual.
It's because confetti when it hits. Dude, can we talk about how, like, when you get an invite to, like, a Yemenite wedding, like, you gotta love that person.
Right, you got to be safe.
No, like, that's you gotta want to go. Like,
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
a +1 at a Yemeni wedding, dude.
Right.
Like,
Oh, well, I think the problem is driving to the wedding party too, because there's always a convoy of like
Yeah.
off-road vehicles, and then like, why take a chance?
do you think that they were part of that because they were like, I just don't want to invite everybody to the wedding? Like, well, Obama, can you just blow up a few of these, and then like now I don't have to invite my second cousins and shit? Do you think? Because like I'm planning a wedding now.
Oh, my God.
And it's the list is tough. It keeps going up. My girl's stressing me, and you know I don't have the luxury that the Yemeni people have, where they get to just say you probably don't want to come. It might blow up.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know that like the number of people that were killed
many people-
during the Obama administration that were innocent by drones?
He was the GOAT.
Yeah.
Drone strike GOAT,
I
dude.
think Trump
Steph
might have-
Curry with it.
Trump might have got close.
You think?
I think he did.
But was it weddings though?
it was everything.
I mean, like,
They just blow shit up, man.
They
It's
don't give a fuck.
indiscriminate bombing. It's this weird bombing where they like do you know a lot of it is done on metadata? So like say if your cell phone,
Okay.
like if your cell phone is in a room,
Okay.
and I know Schulz is in that fucking room. Let's launch missiles into that room. Like they don't even you could have left your phone on a table in a building. You don't even have to be there, and you leave out the back door. Like you could leave like little decoy phones. And they know that you've been using that phone. They'll
we
blow
still
up
blow
the
up
whole
anyway.
building. So they'll leave it in a school. They do some of that stuff on purpose.
So why don't they do it with their enemies? Why don't you put a phone at somebody's, like if some guy's marrying your childhood crush, like put your fucking cell phone with
bet
them.
they do.
Kaboom.
I bet people have done that. But what they have done is done it with schools and hospitals, where they've left metadata in schools and hospitals so that they could use them as martyrs. And they could say, look, and this is one way you can get people, they'll recruit people to the Taliban or to ISIS. Yeah.
The Yemeni people are interesting. They own the bodegas in Brooklyn, a lot of
Oh,
them.
yeah?
Yeah, and they are some tough motherfuckers.
You have to be.
You do not fuck with Yemen because they're kind of hood with it too. Like they came to America and the culture that they experienced was like Brooklyn hood culture, right? So it's like, and they open it anywhere. Brownsville, it doesn't matter. Like they will go into wildest neighborhoods, open that shit up, and not give a fuck. So I
Do you remember Prince Nassim Hamed?
of course, was he Yemenite?
Yeah.
There was another guy that fought out in New York. I'm forgetting his fucking name.
pretty
He fought
sure.
recently. He fought Kodo.
Oh.
Do you remember that kid? I'm forgetting his name, but I didn't know Nassim Hamed was.
I'm pretty sure. He's from Yemen.
What a legend that guy was, man.
What a fucking talent.
What a fucking.
And what a style.
Yeah.
The dancing, the hands low, and he would leap at you with fucking flying uppercuts and take your head off.
Yeah. And then he got exposed as he started to fight the more technical guys. I think
Yeah.
Barrera was
Yeah,
the first
Barrera
guy that
fucked
really.
him up. Yeah.
But he was so brilliant, and he's the reason why these 135-pound guys can make millions. Without him.
He's born to Yemeni parents, but he's not from there.
Yeah, he's from England, but still culturally.
Yeah,
But he was so brilliant, man. I remember I would always watch boxing with my pops. My dad was, he's a big boxing fan, but he would go to like cover boxing. He used to work for NBC back in the day, and producing the news. And he would go to like Ali's camp and shit. And like he'd go to all these camps, and it was so he was a big boxing fan. And I remember watching fights with him. We would watch Hamed. He fought. Who did he fight? He fought Barrera. Was that
Kevin
when?
Kelly.
I remember the Kelly fight at Madison Square Garden. He finished Kelly. And Kevin Kelly was nice. He had that like style where he would kind of like shake his gloves, southpaw.
Kevin was the first guy to give him real problems.
Yeah, he clipped him,
Yeah.
but he was just so athletic. and-
Ahmed could crack.
Yeah.
God, he could crack.
Yeah.
He had crazy power. And it was all from the legs, man. His legs were like tree trunks.
Yeah.
Pacquiao has a lot of that. He's got tree trunks.
What do you think about
The fucking Errol Spence fights.
I know.
Here he is. Look at him. Look
Yeah,
at this
look-
shit, man. He
yeah.
was so
Just a showman.
fun to watch, man.
Just-
He was so fun to watch. He had those crazy leopard skin pants. Like he kisses biceps.
Yeah. I mean,
And
look
he had
at this.
no biceps. I mean, the thing is too, like the guy would knock everybody the fuck out, and he didn't look like a KO artist if you looked at his body. But look at his style. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
The leaping in with the punches. I mean, it's wild
But that's
shit,
the thing
man.
that's super rare about him and also rare about Pacquiao. Is like usually guys that bounce in and out like that can't crack.
Yeah. But he was the wildest, man. Look at the dancing and
Yeah.
everything.
Just
He was
beautiful.
so fun to watch, man.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, it's interesting. Boxing's in an interesting place.
It is.
It's an interesting place. I like what Logan and Jake are doing.
I'm very bummed out at this Pacquiao fight. Well, he's fighting
with Spence.
who is he
Ugas.
fighting now?
He's going to fight Ugas. But yeah, the Spence thing. So
Still
he really
be fun to watch Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, of course.
It'll still be fun.
But you want to see him
you
go
wanna
up
see him
against
fight
that
Errol
young blood.
Spence.
And Errol Spence is a fucking monster, bro.
He's very, very good.
He is great.
Did you see that Ferrari crash that he was in?
Bro, that was unbelievable.
Wild. No seatbelt saved him.
That's right.
No seatbelt saved him. He
That's
got launched out of
right.
the car.
That's right. It's better for some reason if you get launched out.
Depends on where your head lands.
That's true. But yeah, I've heard this before. Like they also said this. Like sometimes the drunk people end up living.
Because they're so relaxed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So no seatbelt and
You watch the video of the
Be drunk.
crash? Yeah, the crash is wild.
This is
Look
it?
at this. Yeah, watch this.
ay ay ay.
Yeah, so
Joe.
he just fell off. Look, that looks like blood, doesn't it?
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Watch that again.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I mean, unreal. So I guess he has a detached retina, they're saying.
Yeah, I wonder what it's from. You think it's from this?
Sparring, probably. I think
How did
I
it
think
not
he got
be
clipped
from
sparring.
this? First of all, how do you get what did he have? 458 or 488? Ferrari 488? How do you not learn how to drive when you have one of those? How about learn how to drive, bro?
Have you bought anything new, car-wise?
Oh yeah.
Talk to me.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me.
I have a Gunther Works Porsche. It's a all carbon fiber, 1995 993 with a 450 horsepower engine. It's super light because it's all carbon fiber.
Okay.
The most aggro car I've ever had. It's wild. It's a wild car. It's all air cooled and there's no sound deadening in it at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, brah, brah.
Love it.
It's wild. It's a wild car. That's it right there. That's my car.
I spiraled when I was in Miami, and I bought
Look at
a.
that thing, bro. Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Gaze
Yeah,
upon that.
the wide
The
body.
Hips. The hips. Of that bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I just stare at it sometimes, like for
Yeah,
hours.
it's gorgeous.
Like I'll sit down in my garage and just stare at it.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. Yeah, when I was in Miami, I started looking at these old speedsters. These old,
yeah.
And
Gunther Works is doing a new speedster.
can I see?
Oh yeah, they just did the first
What
one.
year though?
993. It's 1990s. You know, like I think the last of the 993s was like 95 or 96.
Okay.
So that, but it's a.
I'm talking about like
completely-
57,
look at this-
58,
look at that,
59.
Look at that, son. Look
Yeah,
at that,
it's
son.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How dare you just call it beautiful?
It's a beautiful car.
Click on that. Give me some other angles of that bitch. See, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. God damn, that's beautiful. And that thing is that's a wild looking beast. All carbon fiber too. The thing about these things is, look, my Tesla
Yeah.
is faster than all these things.
Yeah.
All these things.
But
It's different.
It's
That's
different.
tactile. That thing, you feel everything. You feel you
but
like
isn't
you
the
can place
Tesla
the wheels.
Tesla's like a Honda Accord? Like
no,
it is, bro.
It's a rocket ship.
It looks like a Honda
Have you
Accord.
driven one?
Yes.
When would you drive?
The
Which
not the biggest 4-door.
3?
I guess it was a
Model
3.
3?
My boy Alex
Yeah.
has one.
Okay.
And we actually drove to Boston and slept on the way. Because he did this thing where I don't even know if you should, but like you can hang something off of the steering wheel because you need to
good
show
job,
that you
in
have
case
like.
someone walks in front of the car, then they die.
Well, if you're on the highway, ideally you're not walking unless we're in fucking Austin. And a guy in a thong is running
Or
around with a knife on a fucking
unless
highway
someone is trying to escape from the ice,
in
they
Boston.
don't want to get tested.
Exactly. Those big camps in Boston where they're keeping all the fucking
They got 'em in
Portuguese.
Tacoma.
So, but yeah, it was just like it's nice, but it's
So
also
you
a
guys
Honda
both
Accord.
went to sleep for real,
All three of us, yeah, we went to sleep
and the car
for
just
like
drove
10 minutes.
itself.
It just drove itself. Yeah, dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, dangerous,
Yeah.
but cool. I like the self-driving thing. But if you don't have the self-driving, it's a Honda Accord.
That one. Well, I have the S. The S is pretty sweet.
It is.
Really comfortable. Very
Okay.
nice and smooth inside and very minimalist. I
don't
love it.
know. Like that's a car. The Porsche is a car.
That's a ride.
Yeah, he
Listen,
also doesn't have that fast one though.
The
model-
Tesla
Yeah,
is
no,
a-
I remember being in it too. You're missing something.
Am
being
I?
in that,
yeah,
100%.
I
He's
don't
got
know.
the X.
Oh,
He's got
okay.
the X, which is like a spaceship.
Okay.
Jamie's got the X. It's got the gull wing doors. They pop up.
doesn't
But is
go
that
as-
one that's a little bubbly?
It doesn't. His doesn't go as you're missing out on the whole fast
Immediate
part.
torque.
Yeah.
And
Experience.
meanwhile, the new one, the
Yeah.
Plaid, buries mine. The Plaid makes mine look slow.
That's one with the steering wheel that's
Yeah.
just the sides. What
Like
a
a
brilliant idea. How has
go-kart.
nobody done that before?
well, they have, but it's only been like Formula racing cars.
I love it.
And maybe a few like Paganis or some shit like that, some crazy exotic.
That's another thing I got into.
1.9 seconds 0 to 60.
That's great.
You know what that is? That's a roller coaster.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
It makes my car, which is preposterous,
Yeah.
seem slow as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess for me, it's just the way it looks. Like I started looking at all these like old vintage cars. I was looking at like the old Jags and shit, and I was like,
I could see you in an old Jag with one of them long noses.
Yeah, the
with those-
XKs.
with the wire wheels.
yeah,
the wire spoke
They're
wheels.
So classy,
Oh.
dude. I bought a fucking I bought a replica Speedster.
did?
They're building it for me right now.
Look at
Yeah,
you.
and
now we're talking. Speedster,
just-
which year?
1958.
Oh, Porsche.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a, what is that, a 356? Is that what they are? What is that?
356, yeah.
Yeah, that model that's a beautiful.
It's stunning. It's the most beautiful car I've ever
making
seen.
that?
Vintage Speedsters. The guys that are in Arizona. And it's a replica. I'm not paying $500,000 for a fucking...
Right.
I'm not Seinfeld here. Like,
Right.
this is... But it was the most beautiful car I've ever seen. And I'm not, like, super attached to, like, the culture of cars just yet. But I'm like, this is so fucking stunning.
You're wearing an AP watch.
We're moving there. We're moving
I
there.
see
You
where
know what
you're
I mean?
going.
We're moving there.
Things are going well. Look at this. That's
yeah.
a Testarossa.
Yeah, that's a crazy
What's
car.
up, virgins?
Yeah.
Did you drive a Testarossa around?
No, that was the Alexanders out there in Miami would let me take theirs around for this video we were doing, but this was so funny. So that car right there, this is how powerful. It's a 12-cylinder, right? That car, you don't need to put the gas. You don't even need to press the gas when you throw it in first gear.
It
You
just
just
starts
need to
moving?
take off the torque.
Or take off the brake.
Sorry, clutch. Yeah. I know nothing about cars. I grew up with a Metro car.
Oh,
okay?
so it's a stick shift.
Yeah, of course.
Thank God the new ones aren't.
Really?
They don't make them anymore.
Not even with the paddles?
No, well, that's not a stick shift, son. That's a paddle. That's an automatic. A real car, you put your left foot in, you put your right hand, put the fucking car in gear, and you go like a man.
What about those F1 cars? Are those not real ones?
Listen, they are race cars, but if you want the tactile experience of driving, like fucking, there's shifting yourself is where it's at.
Yeah.
And Ferrari stopped that. Porsche's the only like exotic car manufacturer that still allows you to buy a manual transmission.
Will you race them? Like take them to a track, not
Oh,
really
definitely
race
take
them,
them
but
to a
like,
track. Yes,
and just
yes,
go.
yes.
Yeah,
There's the Track of the Americas. What is it called here? Circuit of the Americas here.
Yeah.
Tommy Segura took his car out there.
Did he?
Yeah, he said it's awesome.
Yeah.
They teach classes. You can learn how to drift. A buddy of mine was out there learning how to drift. Yeah.
I got really into that F1 during the pandemic. I watched that
F1's
Drive to
wild.
Survive. You
Look,
watch
those
that
cars
shit?
are moving fast.
Yeah. But also like the culture behind it, like they're all fucking kids. They're so competitive.
Yeah, they're psychos.
They're psychos, dude.
Yeah, they're psychos.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Did you see that documentary Senna?
Yeah.
About Ayrton Senna?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it was just crazy. It's also so crazy that like it's so unfair. It's like baseball. Like there's one team that's the Yankees, you know, and then the other teams they just can't compete. Like Williams can't compete. So if they get like 9th place, they're going crazy. The guy's crying, right? Yeah, because you finally get points. I guess first top 10 teams get like points or top 10 positions.
What's the
get
number
points.
one team?
It was Mercedes, but now Red Bull is fighting for it. And Red Bull is not obviously a car maker. They make sports drinks or like
Right.
energy drinks, but they just have so much fucking money and they're just dumping into this. We're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars to make a car. And it's all branding. And
So
Mercedes
it's worth
did it
for
for years.
advertising. If you watch that Red Bull car.
I guess.
Have
But
you ever
it's
seen the
just-
difference between a GT car and an F1 car going around the same circuit?
No.
It's so striking.
Why?
Because a GT car is like a 911 GT3,
Mm-hmm.
right? A fast fucking car. But the comparison between one of those going around a circuit and there's a video. If you Google GT car versus F1 car comparison.
But is it top speed that's the difference? Or
watch.
is it...
It's the, like, watch the left. That's GT car. Watch the right. That's a Formula car. Look at the difference.
Oy, oy, oy.
See that? Watch this.
Yeah.
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 You get used to that.
Yeah. No, I need to go try that shit.
That is wild shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be fucking wild. What do you think those guys are on? You think they're taking
Adderall.
amphetamines, Adderall?
Have to be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
I would. I don't want to.
Are you on Adderall?
No. I've never tried it.
Really?
No.
Best drug I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah, I never did it until I went to Burning Man, and I fucking loved it. And I did it just to stay up. I was like, let me just be efficient. But it was amazing. Like in a good mood.
Let
you
me
wanna,
be
like, talk to
efficient.
people. Yeah.
I'm at Burning Man. Let me be
No,
efficient.
listen, I want to spend. I want the whole time. I want to see the sunrise. I want to see the sunset. You know, I'm gonna have to.
What a fucking funny statement. I'm here at Burning Man. I want to be efficient.
I want to do things, Joe. I don't like sitting around. I don't like doing nothing. Okay. I want to be out here. I want to be making shit happen.
Do you ever do comedy on Adderall?
No,
I
I don't
think
even.
that
I don't even drink.
Really?
I never drink before I go on stage. I never did. I didn't drink for years, and I'm glad I didn't. I don't like any crutch. I want to like feel the nerves. I want to like feel anxiety. I want to like fucking feel some
Right.
shit, man. Like
Yeah.
it was a weird thing we were talking about. It's like comedy is the coolest thing where it's maybe I hate making the analogies with like fighting, but this one might make sense. But like if I'm super stressed out with everything else going on in life, I can't wait to be on stage because it
Oh, yeah.
requires all of my cognitive ability.
Yes.
So I don't think about all the other fuck shit that I got to
Yeah.
do. And I wonder if like fighting is kind of similar to that. Like you don't have time to worry about bills. You don't have time to worry about flights or these other things when you're in the middle of a fight or when you're doing comedy or when you're surfing. That was also the same thing. It's like, I got to be ready. Is that a fucking shark? Is there a sec coming in?
For a lot of people, though, personal problems, they get in the way of comedy, and they definitely get in the way of fighting. Like guys who have bad girlfriends. Like I remember there's this one guy and his girl, and he was like an elite fighter, and his girl used to always start fights with him and fuck with him right before fights because she got jealous that he was getting all this attention and that he was putting all his attention on the fight and was ignoring her. So she would act up and flirt with other guys, and he would get mad, and she would storm off and like, I'm going out. I need to clear my head. You're a fucking asshole. You're ignoring me. And he would go, what the fuck? I got a big fight coming up. And she would leave and start fights, and she would not answer.
We can't say.
No.
Okay.
But it's not one. There's many of them. It's a type of gal. There's a type. Some fighters pick the type of lady that is really attracted to the idea of getting attention because she's a fighter's girlfriend. So it's not just that they like the guy, but they like the guy because she's now a fighter's
She's a
girlfriend,
celeb.
and it gives her like extra
clout.
juice. Yeah, but those gals, they're the worst when the guy loses. Because they'll get on the guy like, what the fuck was that? Like that kind of shit. Like, what are you doing? Like, you got to take your fucking training seriously. Like, I got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, leave me
it's a part
alone.
of the sport. I knock guys out. Sometimes I get knocked out. You're swinging fucking hammers at each other.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're fucking with my head. Like I've seen all that.
Yeah,
I've
that's-
seen guys in bad relationships and how their fucking career starts to, and sometimes they have babies with these chicks.
Forget it.
And then they're fucked.
It's over.
Oh.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday, but like, because you said you're like, I really love that you don't post your girl, like my fiance, right? And people, I don't know, they probably say this with you too. They're like it's your choice. They can't fathom that our ladies don't care about the fucking attention.
Right.
They just can't fathom
Right.
that they might not want to go through like the cruelty and scrutiny of the internet when
Well,
they're
I
not
have
even trying to be
friends
famous.
whose girls get mad if they don't post them.
Bro,
They get mad.
like as if that's the way you show love, by sharing you with a bunch of strangers on
And
the
then
internet.
they look to see how many likes they got. And then they look to see how many new followers they got on their account.
Yeah, that's a
after
problem.
He posted them.
That's a problem.
Well, they want, it's a weird world today where so many people want attention.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm so fucking lucky in that regard. Like she just does not want it
It's beautiful.
at all.
That's beautiful.
And it's and she said it really interesting. She's like, I'm not trying to be famous, so I don't want to deal with the fuck shit
Yeah.
that you have to deal with because you're a public figure.
Right.
Like they can make fun of your nose, right? You know what I mean? Say whatever the fuck you want about my nose, say what the
Right.
fuck you want about my fucking hair, whatever it is. But I'm using this and leveraging this to do shows and to do other things.
Right.
She's getting her master's.
Right.
She doesn't need you to comment on her fucking body.
Right.
So I think that's the smart decision. Why take that on?
Well, you know, there's that thing, opposites attract. Like, sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. Like, sometimes it works. So you get one person who's like this loud extrovert, and then the person who compliments them is calm and controlled and doesn't need
Yeah.
any attention at all, and
Yeah.
it's just cool just reading a book.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you're better off
Yeah.
with that kind of balance, like, and that they can appreciate that you're different than them. But I think the big thing in relationships is like that one person doesn't try to control the other person. You know, that you let that person be who the fuck they are. The worst relationships that I've ever seen is when someone gets involved with a person and they look at them like a project.
I'm going to fix you.
I'm going to change the way he dresses.
Yeah.
Like once one lady, one of my wife's friends, said about me, you let him wear those fanny packs? Let him. Let him. I want to talk to your fucking husband. Let him.
Yeah, my friend got a gift from his girl, and it was like those cards. You know, like, this is good, you turn this in. This is good for a back rub. This is good for this. And one of the cards said, this is good for a morning surfing session. And I'm like, you can't decide if you want to go surfing?
Yeah, what is that?
Why,
Like you-
why do I have to ask you permission to go
card?
surf? But you know, it's like, here's a blowjob, here's whatever, and you get to put it in. But the idea that like you couldn't just decide if you want to surf that morning. Yeah. It's a little bit. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. How did you How did you set that up? Like, how do you set up with with your wife? Like,
No, my
well, how
wife,
long have you
it's
guys been together?
natural. It's our like vibe together is 100% natural.
Okay,
That's
when
why
do
it
you
works.
spend time together?
All the time?
But like, you
Today after I get out of here.
Okay, so you guys will go.
We're going to dinner for my birthday.
Well, of course, for your birthday.
Yeah, we do a lot of. That's a big one because we have children.
Yeah.
We do date nights.
I have date.
I love
Tuesday night is
them.
date night.
I love them.
Can't
I love
do it.
Them. I sit down. We have a glass of wine.
best.
We eat dinner together. We talk and laugh. It makes you closer. It's nice.
Phone goes off.
Yeah, because we don't travel without the kids really
Mm.
very much. Occasionally, I'll do like a Vegas. Like I'll take her with me to Vegas for the UFC, but that's like one night. I'll fly in Saturday morning. We'll hang out. We'll go to dinner. We'll go to the fights, and then she'll come back with me. But it's like you gotta enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't after a while, and then they stay together,
That's
and then they
stupid.
can't wait to get to the golf course. Just let me get the fuck away. Let me get away.
Sometimes I feel like there's certain activities that are built around getting away from your wife. Like golf, I think, is getting away from your wife.
Ice fishing. Right?
I'm gonna say
No woman. No woman wants to do that.
She's not gonna go. We're just inventing activities to get away from our fucking wives. Bro, she's gonna follow me on a golf course. Where's the pond? Is it
Yeah.
frozen over?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what is it? A fantasy football draft. Like, I don't need to be with my boys for a digital event.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeon-
Make it so nerdy that no
They
girl
won't
wants to
come. They're not even playing Dungeons and Dragons. They're just hanging out and drinking Bud Lights.
Yes.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Oh, what other activities are we doing just to get some free time?
Well, some women like hunting, which is really interesting. One of the things I've found out about elk hunting, some guys go hunting with their wives. And their wives actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if maybe my
I don't think
girl
there's a lot of
shoots.
chicks out there ice fishing. I'm sure there's some, but I think ice fishing might be the one because girls golf. Like a buddy of mine and his wife, they golf together. But like, I think that's one of the reasons why guys like to do the business deal thing on the golf course. You know,
This is
They
a
go,
bit-
we're doing business on the golf
Sorry,
course.
babe.
There's no way you can come.
Yeah.
This is business.
Do you let your wife come out to your shows?
Yeah, sure.
If you're working out
Let her.
shit in the city.
If she wants to. Yeah, but she likes to come to shows. But generally, like, I don't have to, there's not like a let. Like, whatever she wants to do. Whatever you want to do. I like her.
No, I know you like
I love her. I mean, I should say I love her. She got mad. But I enjoy hanging out with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's fun.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
a good time.
I guess there's certain things like, I don't know, like if I'm working stuff out, I kind of like to just be in my, I don't even like my friends coming to shows if I'm working
Oh,
stuff out.
right. I know what you're saying. Yeah, like workout spots.
Yeah, like
That's different. You know,
there's
that's
a
different
there's a weird
thing.
thing where in
You
me
need to
like
be in your head before
Yes.
you go up to and look at your notes. You can't be like, do you need a drink?
I'm not taking care of her, and I think there's a
yeah.
part of me still which is like I like impressing her. Like this is so stupid.
I know
I'm
what you're
fucking
saying.
37 years old, but sometimes I'll be
Yeah.
doing a set and I'll look over and I'll see if she's laughing.
Right.
And I think I like that because I'm like, I want to impress her still. I
Yeah.
want her to find me funny or whatever.
Yeah.
That, but I'm looking at this like I've achieved a lot of really cool stuff in my life, and there's still this one person in the crowd that I look over, and if she's smiling at the joke, I feel corny even fucking saying this, but if she's smiling at the joke, I'm like,
Yeah.
I
But it's
don't know.
not corny. It's normal.
But it is true. I don't know.
It's normal.
She's dope.
It's normal. But that's the key. You found someone that you really enjoy being with. And
Yeah.
sometimes people don't. They settle or they get accustomed to like these fucking tumultuous relationships where you're constantly fighting. and
Yeah.
that'll fucking ruin anything you're trying to do, man. We're trying to create things.
Yeah.
You're trying to do a sport, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I couldn't. I think my parents had such a good relationship that it like almost ruined me because that was the expectation. Like, you know, when your parents are like fighting all the time and shit, you're like, oh, as long as I'm just getting there.
Right.
If I'm fighting a little less than my parents, then this must be a good relationship.
I had a chick I dated in the past, and her and her father, or her parents rather, her father and her mother used to fight physically. They used to hit each other, and that was the first girl that ever took a swing at me.
What
Yeah, she took
race?
a swing at me. We were in the middle of Italian. This is the last one I dated.
This is a culture, Joe.
Last one I dated.
Joe, it's a culture.
They grab the face. They kiss. They do it. When you hear your family. She took a fucking swing at me. I saw it coming.
Really?
I couldn't believe it while it was coming. This is when I was
Close
fighting
fist?
too. It didn't matter. I saw her hand come back. Whatever was happening was not going to get to me in time.
Yeah.
But I was like, is this really going down? I saw the hand moving towards me. I was like, what? What?
Now, what did you say?
I clinched.
No. What did you say to make her
I have
slap
no
the shit out
idea.
of you?
Probably deserved it. I was 21. I was stupid as fuck. But it wasn't even. I was like, I'd never had someone take a swing at me before.
Yeah.
I was like, this is wild.
Yeah, you got to check that kick, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you check the kick and then just leg snaps, Connor style,
Right.
that's not on you. You were defending yourself.
Good luck proving that in court. She's got a broken leg and she's screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend whose girl scratched herself up and then said
No.
to the cops that he attacked her.
No.
Yeah, she scratched herself up. She started scratching herself up. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing?
How do you get out of it?
I don't remember. I don't remember what happened.
You've heard about those NBA not players, but like the chicks who will take the roofie before they fuck.
Oh, God.
They'll take it
purpose?
themselves. Now it's in their system.
Oh, God.
Then they go, this guy raped me.
Well, there are for sure bad people out there, male and female, right?
course.
There are men who roofie women. I've had
course.
multiple friends who someone dropped something in their drink.
Really?
At clubs, yeah. Where they're like, something's wrong, their friends rescue them, and they get home, they don't remember what the fuck happened. They're like, somebody put something in your drink. I've had multiple friends tell me this happened. But the world of like the NBA world, where they're like, these guys are making fucking
Hundreds of
preposterous
millions. Yeah.
amounts of money.
Yeah.
And they have diamond-crusted watches, and they're driving on Lamborghinis, and there are predators. There are girls that realize, if I can get that guy to knock me up, I have guaranteed income. I have guaranteed large amounts of money. And it's a real concern. And also the other stuff, like false accusations. And
Yep.
you would think that's not real, but there's some people that are willing to do that. So
Yeah.
it's like all this believe all women shit. Like some women steal UPS packages off your porch. Don't believe them.
Yeah.
Okay? Some women are in jail for murder. Some women are in
Yeah.
jail for thievery and fucking
Yeah.
all kinds of things. And Ghislaine Maxwell, you gonna believe her?
Yeah.
Look at her. She's child trafficking.
Yeah, being a piece of shit doesn't have a gender.
Exactly.
And there's some women I think that know how to work successful dudes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, yeah. Stroke their ego. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they go to see you and laugh at everything. Like you look over and she's like, oh, my God, Andrew,
Yeah.
you're so funny.
Yeah.
While she's pulling her ID out. She's trying to get
be right
knocked
there,
up.
babe. She's there with some tongs.
She's like, for sure. Do you
it's
know any guy
crazy.
that's got set up like that before, where a girl said she can't get pregnant?
I
Don't
just-
worry, I can't get pregnant.
I know guys from
Don't
like
worry.
the league. I have some friends that work in the NBA, and they've told me like there's specific people that they have to talk to like investigate these things because
I
it
know.
comes to the team first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like they'll go to the team and they'll be like, listen, I have a situation. This girl's saying that I got her pregnant, or this girl's saying. these
Oh,
different
so the
things.
team knows how to handle it because it's so common.
Of course. I mean, you're talking about billion-dollar industries. Like, if you're crazy if you don't think billion-dollar industries have fixers. Like, there's so much money. You sign,
Right.
like, there's a team of people, I imagine,
Yeah.
that make sure that there are girls that aren't saying that they are fucking these very famous dudes that are on these teams.
Right.
Because either all of them are faithful, right?
What did you say?
Yeah, exactly.
You okay?
Yeah. Or they're getting some pussy and then people are staying quiet. You know? Like I mean, sometimes I'm baffled at like how certain people can manage the side chicks. Like I don't think Drake has had one scandal, but we know he's fucked so many girls.
Right, but he's single.
He's single, but at the same time, like, there's not a single girl that's like, I need something. There's not a single girl that's like, yo, like, I could say that you stop calling me. I could say you're a piece of shit. No girl ever says anything bad about this guy. So he's probably a good guy, or he knows how to make an exit.
Interesting.
Or he's being he looks like a very strategic dude. Like, maybe he's picking people and going, okay, this girl knows what time it is. She doesn't look like a fucking psychopath. Like, I think a lot of dudes when they first start getting pussy, and this is the problem with like entertainment, is a lot of fucking losers in this shit, and they first start getting some pussy once they get famous. Like, if you didn't get pussy before you're famous, you're gonna be in some shit. It's not possible. If you got pussy before you're famous, then pussy is not this like crazy thing for you. And I think that like some of those guys who never got any pussy and then they start getting it, I think they resent women a little bit because of it.
Right, because now you like me.
Oh, now you like me.
Where were you when I was in high school and I was a fucking loser getting stuffed into lockers?
Mm-hmm. And now you don't even believe they like you. Because why would you? No girl liked you before.
Right.
So now you have that little bit of resentment. You have that massive insecurity because, oh, what happened if I fall off? They're going to stop liking me. Whereas if you got pussy first, you're like, oh, no, I know how to get laid. Like, I know how to be charming. I could go into a bar and maybe strike up a conversation. We got some shit in common. Okay, we can go hook up or do something. Yeah. But that's a different level of insecurity, and that's why you see these fucking scumbags, man. There's a lot of weird shit, man. Like, even with all this... Like, have you seen all these fucking, like, little, like, child actors that end up doing, like, the fucking pedophile shit? Or, like, what is it? That guy, what the fuck is that guy? Drake Bell or some shit like that? Like...
What's that?
There's this guy, he was from this show, Drake and Josh or something like that. He just got caught up, like, sending...
You know what this is?
Like, sending pictures or something. This happened recently. And there's been multiple people. And I'm starting to wonder, I'm like... Does something happen to you being in fucking Hollywood at a young age? Like, are you know how, like...
I think if you get caught in the wrong circles, that's 100% real.
So it can be turned
Isn't there
on
a
or
whole
something
documentary about it called An Open Secret?
What's this?
Isn't that an open secret? That's what it is, right? I think An Open Secret is about child predators in Hollywood.
But
about people that prey on kids.
What if they're not preying on them sexually? What if they're just so abusive to them emotionally? You have a fucking 9-year-old. You're like, you need to work 12 hours a day. You need to. Well, you're not skinny enough. Hey, you're gaining too much weight. Like, and you're going through all this fucked up weird trauma from adults. You just stop trusting anyone.
I know a guy who was in a movie at a young age, and it was a big movie. And in the movie, there was a very emotional scene where his father was supposed to die. And so before the scene, the guy who plays his father started treating him like shit. Saying mean things to him and abused him. And before that was like real tight with him. Was abusing him and saying horrible shit to him and saying that no one likes him. It was like, and so then the scene starts and this kid is like weeping and crying and they make him go through with the scene.
See, that's the type of shit, and you know that happens. You know that happens when they're 6.
They wanted to do that to get the best performance out of the kid. But the problem was this kid had this like sort of like mentor relationship with this older actor, and then the older actor is shitting on him just to make him feel terrible when he goes into the scene.
And they can't decipher like the difference between that shit.
He was 7.
Yeah. I mean, even that Haley Joel Osment, you know what I mean? I mean, he seems kind of all right now.
Who's
but
that?
like the guy from the fucking Ghost movie, whatever, Sixth Sense.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
He probably still believes in ghosts. He's 6 years old. Like, how old was he when he was in a... Like, you're a kid. You don't know what you believe in, what you don't believe in. I believe in Power Rangers. Like, you could believe in anything. And you're telling this kid...
You know, he's like a professor at a community college now.
Well, I mean, do you see how far you go away from entertainment?
Someone told me that.
It's rare these motherfuckers are in it when they're kids and they choose to stay in it.
Right.
Right? Like, something happens. Something has happened to them. I'm not saying they're all getting diddled, but something has happened, like what you were describing, like that type of emotional fucking abuse. And I know there's systems in play. And
which one? Someone that was a child actor that's a professor at a community college now, and someone was telling me about it, and I was like, you know what's interesting is like we think it's sad, but we wouldn't think it's sad if we just knew a guy was a professor at a community college.
Yeah,
we'd be like, oh, that's a normal job.
I don't think it's sad.
No,
I just think something happens to them, Joe. I think it's like,
well, here's what happens to them. You're not supposed to get famous when you're a kid. There's no way you're going to develop normally. It's impossible. You're going through, look, I've interviewed a few childhood stars, and they're all fucked up.
Really?
They're doing their best to get through it, and a lot of them are like Miley Cyrus is a really cool person.
Yeah.
Demi Lovato, a very cool person. I enjoy talking to them. But it's undeniable that process of being massively famous at a young age fucks your developmental cycle up.
Yeah.
Because you got to learn how to deal with people when you're anonymous. You're just a person.
Yeah.
You don't want them to treat you like you're something special for no fucking reason.
Yeah, because you don't have to
you're on a
earn
Disney
that
show.
treatment.
Right.
Like being kind to a human being, like helping somebody else. You earn that connection.
Right.
Now you don't have to earn it anymore.
You also learn that, oh, if I make people feel good, they feel good, and then I feel good, and that develops like a real friendship, and then you can call on that person and you have real genuine love with them and you develop this understanding of human relationships.
Yeah.
But if you're always the fucking Mac Daddy when you're 7 years old and you're the guy on the set, what is this? Oh, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
He began his career, and that's right. And now he is he's a professor at a college.
Yeah, I mean, the kid is 3 years old, and they're like,
that must have been a fuck.
you're in a hotel, it's full with blood, and people are trying to kill you.
And
At 3 years old.
Kubrick, who was a
weirdo already.
fucking crazy person. Yeah, genius, massive genius, crazy person. Yeah, who used to do complex mathematics in his spare time.
That was his little
He was
side hobby.
Super smart.
I wonder what that shit, because I see all these, like, I see a lot of these, like, celebs right now, like, they like come out as non-binary, I think is the term. I might be getting this wrong.
Demi Lovato did that, and they wrote in an article. It was hilarious. It was after she was on my podcast. All of a sudden, she's a they. And it's like, and she said in the article, sometimes they misgender themselves. Again, go to Libs of TikTok. That page that I showed you on Twitter. It's the best. It's like the most nonsensical fucking cuckoo talk.
But the non-binary shit, my boy Mark was saying this. He was like, it's the least investment to be different.
Right.
It's the least investment to get like woke points. Because at least back in the day when you came out as gay, like you had to suck some dicks, man, or you had to fuck guys or something like that.
It.
You had to do something.
Right.
Non-binary is just like, hey guys, I'm part of the community, so you can't say anything bad about me.
Right.
But I will do absolutely nothing.
Right.
And guess what? You don't call me she. You know my name. I'm fucking famous. It's the least amount of work to get all the victim points. Like you just say, I'm non-binary. And what does it mean? You don't change your life at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My gender is male or female. Sometimes I like watching baseball. You know, sometimes I like fingering myself. Whatever it is.
And their gender changes constantly.
Constantly. But there's no investment. So I'm just looking at this shit and I'm just like, yo, like, are you doing this because you actually feel non-binary? Or are you doing this because it's the most convenient way to get some woke points? Like, how are you?
That's it. It's also very, very self-indulgent. Very self-indulgent. You're acquiring massive amounts of attention.
The whole world has to change the way that they refer to you. And you have to change nothing.
There was a girl on the Libs of TikTok that had beads, different color beads that she would wear that indicated which gender she identified with and how she was feeling, because her gender changed multiple times per day.
It's like a
so
mood
she
ring.
Would wear the beads, different color beads, to let everybody know where she's at.
I almost feel like it's like people have like social anxiety and they're just trying to create that for other people.
Well, I think it's the culture of today's the climate today with social media where people indulge this kind of nonsense. So when normal kids would just pretend that they're psychic, now these kids are pretending that they're, a million different genders in one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild.
I don't fucking
how
know.
How are they going to get through this?
I don't know, man. I don't. Usually capitalism like takes its course.
But I think Douglas Murray, who's a brilliant guy, who's
the English dude, right?
The English guy, who's he's very interesting because he's conservative, but he's also gay, and he fucks people up in debates with logic and reason, and he's a brilliant writer, and he wrote Madness of Crowds, which is a great book about it. But one of the things that he said when we were doing a podcast together, he said at the end of every empire, gender becomes a big subject, and the transitioning of genders, and that the dissolving of traditional gender roles becomes a big part of the end of every empire. Whether it's the Romans or the Greeks, they become obsessed with gender. And I'm like, why do you think that is? I don't know if he had an answer, but people that they think that maybe it's like life is too easy, so they've tried to look for things to nitpick on, or
what if we're pushing comfort? Like with luxury comes comfort, right? And like, all right, maybe there are some people that are confused about this kind of stuff. I don't know what the fuck it is. I can't tell you because I don't have it. But like, we're just trying to make as many people comfortable as possible, right? We got really comfortable mattresses, sofas. We have, sort of mental illness awareness. We're trying to make as many people feel comfortable in society as we can. And then it pushes towards gender. And maybe people feel more comfortable identifying as one or the other, whatever it is. So, but I think it's just a function of luxury. Like, I don't think there's fucking trans bathrooms in a refugee camp.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's too much going on for you to even focus on that. You're trying to survive. Like, is there a trans community in North Korea?
No, but there was a trans community with Native Americans that were the
and I think
Plains
Indians
tribes.
too. Don't they have like
India Indians?
Yeah, India Indians. I think there's
Maybe.
like a specific people. Like, you actually can't be. If they come up and ask you for money, like you got to do it. it's just bad luck if you don't do it or something like that. Like,
Well, the Thais,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lady boys in Thailand, it's
they're
always
the
been a
best.
thing.
They're the best.
Which is amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like this
Better looking
one
than the
culture.
chicks.
Really?
When I was over there, because they put
Were you
fucking
drunk?
effort in. I wasn't drunk. I didn't take any down, but I
Okay.
went around. I was in Singapore. There's a mall. It's like
Shane Smith from Vice, one of the episodes that he did. Well, this is when
how
Vice
much
was
did Vice
wild.
change, bro? Vice got fucking neutered, dude. They
Vice
gender
is
switched.
super woke now.
They got bought out.
Yeah, they got bought out. They got bought out, and then they went super woke. What is this?
There you go.
How do you say that? Hijira?
Whoa, dude. Whoa, dude. Did you just do
H-I-J-R-A.
an Indian accent, dude?
Hijira?
Did you just do an Indian accent, bro?
Is that what I
is
did?
racist right there, bro.
Really?
Oh my god.
In the Indian subcontinent, Hijira are eunuchs, intersex people, and transgender people, also known as Aravani, Aruvani, Jagpapa, or Chakakaka. Okay, that is their version of
Trans.
the libs of TikTok.
They have the libs of TikTok out
They
there.
have a bunch of different names for that.
But yeah, the Native Americans had it, and
It's clearly a thing. Like transgender people, it's clearly a real thing. And anybody that say it's not, it's like it's existed throughout history. There's always been people like that.
Yeah.
But what Douglas Murray, I think, was saying was that some of them aren't really that. They're just latching on to this need to get attention or to be special or to stand out.
Community,
and
too.
to be a victim in a world where there's not that many victims anymore. You're not experiencing real adversity
Yeah.
or real discrimination, so you create discrimination against yourself.
and we will believe some things that aren't there. We're capable of doing that.
For sure.
QAnon,
Psychics.
psychics. Yeah, QAnon's just like conservative trannies. Like that's really all they are, right? They're just like it's okay, I'll believe it. That's fine. I don't know.
It's wild.
What happened to those boys?
QAnon guys?
Yeah, they around still?
They're all in fucking jails right now waiting for hearings.
Are they really?
On January 6th.
Oh, dude, that was legendary. I don't even blame them for that shit, because if you believe the shit they believe, like, what took you so long?
Oh, they believe that
People,
there's
it's all
someone-
lizard. They're drinking like
Yeah.
baby blood. Like,
Yeah.
why did you wait until that day if you believed that that's what these politicians were doing? If you really truly believed it with all your heart, or you were skeptical and you wanted to be part of a community and it was exciting, and we all love learning about new, weird, wild shit. Like,
Right.
throw a when we were with Duncan last night, and Duncan was like, "Do you think that there's a black rock underneath Manhattan, and that's why the aura?" And I was like, "Yeah. Now that you said it, I believe it. Keep going. Tell me more about this. That's all I care about."
Duncan is the best.
Dude,
He's the best.
legend.
You just seen him on stage last night.
Killing.
Yeah.
His skin looks incredible.
Yeah, he's healthy.
Like,
He's
really
eating
good.
well. Yeah, he's eating well.
Some lotions or anything?
I don't know. I'll ask him.
Yeah, but it looked
But
really
he's
good.
happy. He's married. He's got children now. He loves it. He's moving to Austin too.
I know. You're getting them all out here. I need to have some kids, Joe.
Yeah, then you want to move here.
Couple years.
Have
you
your
think?
fucking babies wander around those assholes in New York.
Dude, I was a
Being
baby
mean to
wandering
a
around with
kid.
assholes
Yeah,
in New
look
York.
what happened.
Builds character, okay? This is what you need. You need to have kids in struggle. They need to see fucked up shit. I,
think-
believe. You're going to have them running around a fucking yard over here?
Yeah.
You give me your kids. I'll take them to New York for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Okay?
give me your kids. I'll take them pig hunting.
I would actually do that.
Yeah,
if
let's
it's
go.
from the helicopter.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think that's fine. I don't know. Maybe I have a soft spot in my heart for New York, but I just think that, like,
No, I do too. I love New York, but I don't want to live there.
I can understand why people don't want to live there. And I
Yeah.
can only live there because I'm like fucking Bane. Like, I grew up in it, right? So, like, all the things that you see on TV, like the people mugging each other and stuff.
born here.
I was born in the darkness, bro.
Born in the darkness.
You're not going to fuck me up in New York. That's my city. These are my people.
Right.
Like, the tourists are going to get fucked
Are you
up.
gonna stay there
Tourists are gonna get
forever?
robbed.
What if it keeps slipping? What if they hire someone worse than de Blasio next?
Oh, I'll be in Los Angeles in a couple years for sure.
Really?
No.
Why would you go there?
I would go
Unless
towards
Larry
warmth.
Elder wins.
If Larry Elder goes, are you moving back?
If he moved, well, he actually texted me that. He said if he becomes governor, you're going to want to come back to California. I'm like, maybe in 10 years.
There's a reason why Cali, especially like LA, exists.
Yeah, the weather's amazing. It was a show business hub, but there's too many people, bro.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't need the same kind of conflict that you do. That kind of like turmoil.
But it's in the bits.
Yeah,
I see it. When
yeah,
I'm
but I
watching
got
you,
my own turmoil.
it's already inside.
Yeah. I like quiet. I need quiet. I don't need these fucking dogs barking all day long in my head. I need quiet. I need to calm it down. You know, I
Yeah.
found my own like mitigation methods.
Which is
I would strain. I have to exercise. I have to torture myself. I have to get in an ice bath for 20 minutes. I have to do fucked up shit to like force my mind to overcome. I have to
calm down.
overcome.
Yeah.
But my overcoming is like real struggle. I don't need to be annoyed with people. That doesn't mean anything. I don't like that. I need like to be close to death. Either almost get strangled or almost get my fucking head kicked off or like that's my thing to find my peace. I have to put myself into horrific scenarios.
Yes.
Whether it's self-imposed or otherwise.
Yes.
And the self-imposed ones are my favorites because I can choose to do it when I
your
don't have
choice.
to. Because I don't have to do
Yeah.
that. I can just fucking lay back and eat Cheetos for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
If I wanted to.
If someone's punching you, you have to survive because they're
Yeah.
going to knock your ass out. But if you're in a fucking ice bath,
Yeah.
if you're running, or if you're doing one of these like cardio exercises, it's like I'm deciding to tap out.
Exactly.
You decide if you're a bitch or not that day.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a different type of euphoria that comes from that.
Exactly.
Like I was working out in Miami with this guy Jordan, the muscle doc. He's fucking great. I
I
love
saw
him.
your hands, bro. Looking pretty good.
Oh, thanks,
Not
man.
bad.
Thanks, man.
Not bad.
I
You
used to
got
do
good
a
technique.
little boxing back in the day. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I can tell.
I'm gonna
I
have to
can
call
tell.
out somebody.
You look
I'm
good.
calling out Ben Shapiro right now on this podcast.
Wow. Does
No,
he
I'm
get to
joking.
keep the yarmulke on when he
I'm gonna
boxes?
pop it right off his fucking head.
But if you're gonna fight and you wear a yarmulke, do they let you keep it on?
Rubber band under the chin. It's like a cartoon, dude. One uppercut that's just boop boop. Who do we get to fight? Who do we have celebrity fight? What about Chris Cuomo? Chris Cuomo's probably still got it.
Still got it? What?
Yeah, he's in
Still
good
got
shape.
What?
He's
Still
in
got
good shape.
what?
He's in good shape. He got some muscles.
He's good for a couple minutes. Did you know he got busted using fake weights?
No.
Yeah, I bought into it. I thought he was just really strong. That's how dumb I am. And then a bunch of people pointed out, and then this guy Derek from moreplatesmoredates.com.
I was watching a video of his
I love
today.
that video. I love his channel rather. He pointed out like there's no fucking way those are real weights because they said 100 pounds on them. And to like pick up 100-pound weight like it's nothing. He was like they're like 40-pound weights disguised as 100-pound weights.
Yeah.
Which is one of the dumbest things you can do, and try to pass off fake weights with all these internet sleuths. Like they
have
think
nothing but time.
They think everything's fake.
Yeah.
So they examine everything. What is this? Fitness fighter Andrew Schulz and Mathis Riley from the Chila Vista Student Organization. What is this? Schulz
I had
serendipitously landed punches to Riley's head.
I had a fight
knocking him
in
down.
college. I had
A
one.
real fight?
I mean, it was in a ring. There was some people there.
Bringing the fight to a close.
Shout out to Duke's Boxing, man.
So what was this? This was when you were in college?
There's a thing that my university, I went to the University of California, Santa Barbara. They did
they
a
have
thing
boxing?
called, they had a fight night. And it was, the only time I've ever fought was in front of thousands of people. And it was some frat kid would fight some kid from, it was put on by this
barrio?
frat. And what? From the barrio. Honestly, yeah. So they would have guys who were actually in like boxing gyms would fight like a guy who was in a frat.
Oh, I bet they loved that.
It was amazing. Because the guys that would
Were you in a
actually
frat?
work out.
What were you?
No, I wasn't a frat. I was just a regular. But I was fighting this other guy. He came in with no fucking shoes on. And
No shoes?
Yeah, he didn't even start the fight when the bell rang. Like I was in my corner. He
Was
just
it
like
the
came
homeless
at me.
guy with the knife?
It was the homeless guy from the knife. And that makes perfect sense. And listen, my bad. I'm sorry I had to embarrass you in front of all those people.
He had no shoes on?
Now he had no shoes on. But and we just had a fight. It was
so
cool.
you boxed with no shoes on?
I didn't box. I
No,
had
he
fucking.
did. He boxed
did.
with no shoes on?
Yeah, I had the Roy Jones Jr. Jordans. Do you remember when Roy Jones had his own
Yes.
Jordans?
Y'all must have forgot.
Y'all must have forgot. And it was cool, man. I had a fight, and then
I had Roy in here, and there's one thing I want to tell him.
Roy's
I go,
great.
I never forgot. I never forgot.
what did he say?
Oh man, he loved it. He loves that.
He's so funny.
I give him the props because I was a giant, still am a giant Roy Jones Jr. fan.
Legend.
Back in the day, man, when his fights were going on, you were just waiting to see how someone would survive. It wasn't whether or not they're going to beat Roy Jones. It's like, how are you going to survive? How are you going to survive that speed?
I
that
asked him, he's
athleticism.
so funny. I go, we had him on a podcast, and he goes,
Did you?
Yeah. He's really sweet. Like he's the
Oh,
most
a
approachable
great guy.
Like,
Yeah, he's a great guy.
yeah, and he goes, I was like, did you ever worry about losing something in the ring? Like, did you ever worry about getting hit and then not walking out there the same? And he goes, I'm be honest with you, Andrew. I never walked in the ring with that much anyway. And I just fucking burst out laughing. Like he was like, I ain't got that much sense. It is what
you
it
know,
is.
it's sort of he's not quite being straight there because there was an issue with Gerald McClellan, who was his rival. Gerald McClellan at the time was a Kronk fighter, and he was one of the elite of the elite. He was a fucking murderous puncher. And he had a fight with Nigel Benn, a famous fight where he fucked Nigel Benn up. Nigel Benn,
British guy?
Yes.
Yes.
An animal, such a fucking warrior. Nigel Benn took all
Kronk
the punches
is
in the
Detroit,
first round.
Emmanuel Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nigel Benn got knocked out of the ring. Like lit up in the first round.
Yeah.
It is a famous fight, but endured and kept going. And then Nigel Benn wound up starting to land on Gerald because Gerald used to have a brutal weight cut to make 175 pounds.
Yep.
He used to torture himself. And then Nigel winds up catching Gerald McClellan and cracking him. And then McClellan, at one point in the fight, takes a knee. He takes a knee like a standing 8 count, and then but stays down for 10 rounds for the 10 count. And everybody's like, "What is going on?" And then the announcers were like, "I can't believe he quit. I can't believe he quit." I mean, it was a really a crazy scene, man. The fight. This is the first round, right? Gerald McClellan. Look at him on the right hand side. A fucking monster, bro. A power puncher. I mean, Gerald McClellan fucked everybody up.
Nice long arms.
Oh my God, he was such a puncher, and he was such a KO artist. So Gerald McClellan takes the 10 count on his knee, and the announcers are like, "What is going on here? We can't believe this is happening. I can't believe he's quitting," and then collapses.
No.
And then winds up having bleeding on the brain, and he's never the same again. He's still alive today, but he's blind. He never fought again after this fight. This was it.
And
you
they
go
thought
like
that-
farther in the round, like this is the end. Where Gerald McClellan he's still swinging, but Nigel Benn is still there, man. And Nigel Benn was a really, really fucking tough guy and a fantastic puncher. And he eventually got to Gerald. Gerald wore out, and then when he took that knee, he collapsed in his corner afterwards. So this is like, so you go to where he collapses. You see it here. Like, so look, he's not feeling like something's going on, and he had bleeding on his brain. And Nigel Benn is cracking him, teeing off on him. And you can see Gerald is like, he's trying to
Survive
endure,
it.
but you'll see right there.
That's it.
So he takes it. He takes a knee, and look at he's holding his head.
Yeah.
He's trying to deal.
No.
So he takes a 10 count,
No.
and he doesn't get up.
Oh man.
And everybody was freaking out. They're like, how is he not getting up? Yeah. And so Nigel Benn's like, yeah. So Gerald McClellan goes back to his corner. He can barely walk, and then he collapses. And it was a huge tragedy because they were always setting up this fight with Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. was the fucking man.
Yeah.
He was the fucking man. And Roy Jones Jr. had this one rival who was also very dangerous. And I think they fought in the amateurs as well.
Gerald McClellan. I just remember the Tony being this big rival for Roy.
Yeah, but Roy fucked him
And
up.
he fucked him. And James Toney was terrifying back
Oh,
then.
my
People
God.
forget, like,
Oh, my God. He was so good.
he was so good.
He was so good.
And stylistically, he was so interesting. He stand right in front of you.
Yep.
He had this like great head movement, and
Yep.
like really before Floyd. I mean, obviously this is an older style, but that ability to like shoulder roll, and he was just terrifying. And he was so big. Like I think later in his career, what did Tony fought?
Heavyweight.
Even up to heavyweight. He
Knocked
was fighting
out
at
Holyfield.
160. That's right.
Knocked
That's
out
right.
Holyfield as a heavyweight.
So he was cutting to get down, and
He weighed 168 when he fought Roy Jones, and then he knocked out Holyfield as a heavyweight.
look at Roy.
But when
man.
Roy beat James Toney, that was like his first big test.
that was unbelievable.
Because everybody was like, see, both of them are like 26, 25. Look at that. Whoa. Amazing. Amazing fight.
Do you ever think about I was watching Connor with his leg snap, and I'm like, is this gonna happen to more guys? Are we gonna see more of this?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, it's we've seen so many of them. Of
It's-
course it's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Chris Weidman, Anderson
Yeah.
Silva, and you can go back down the line.
And why?
Corey Hill was the first one I ever saw. That was like that no one had seen that before. That was I'd only seen it on video. I'd never seen it in real life. When he threw a kick and the opponent checked it, I forget who he's fighting, and it snapped his fucking leg in half. And the referee didn't realize it, and so he went down, and the referee hadn't noticed it, and the other guy was beating him up, and I got up and I was yelling. I took my headphones off and I was yelling, "Stop the fight! Stop the fight!" But it's like, I don't know if the ref could even hear me because it's a crowded arena, and now he's down. The other fighter's pounding on him, so it's like,
Yeah.
see who was fighting him. I'm trying to remember who was fighting. Corey Hill, leg break.
I just wonder. It's like you see it happening more and more, and then with the leg kicks seeming to play more of a role, and it's
gonna happen.
Ugh.
We've seen it happen so many times. It happened with Anderson Silva. It happened with Chris Weidman. It's like leg breaking, arms breaking. It's part of the sport. It's gonna happen.
I've gotten into it. Like I was a boxing purist.
Have you been live
to an MMA fight in Miami, in the Hilton? It was like a small, like local one, and I'm telling you, this like pains me to even admit it because I'm just such a big boxing fan. But in order to really appreciate boxing, you kind of need to understand the sport. It's just one of those. It's like jujitsu or like one of those things. Like I don't really get it. I don't know enough. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm sure if I knew a lot, I'd notice every little bit of nuance. It's almost like soccer. You know how they can appreciate not scoring. Like the whole thing is almost scoring. You're like, ooh, that was a good almost score. And but with when I see MMA, I can watch two guys I don't even know, never heard of them once. It is by far the most engaging fight sport. Because you don't even need to know the guys.
Dale Hart and I got hammered one night in the bar. Oh my God.
Before or after?
Oh, after the fight. But this was the first time.
Dale showing a lot of head
Right
movement.
there.
Needs
Boom.
a
The referee doesn't see it, so
Oh, God.
they're still scrambling.
And he's not tapping?
So if you can hear me.
Fight is all over.
Oh, God, that's gnarly, dude.
Yeah, look at his leg. So I think
Gonna be stopped. The fight is all over.
you didn't hear it.
Oh, Corey fell down. Oh, his leg's broken.
His leg's
This fight is going to be stopped. The fight is all over. Corey Hill.
Yeah, that's just gnarly, dude.
So that's me screaming. I don't think the referee saw when it broke, but then he recognized it when it was down, that his leg was off at a fucked up angle. That was the first time I'd ever seen that live. But now I've seen it several times. I've seen arms break several times. I've seen so many people get fucked up.
Are you immune to it?
I'm a little numb to people getting injured, for sure. There's no way. I've talked about this before, but if you looked at all of human history, the amount of people that have seen people get the fuck beaten out of them, I am in the upper, 1% in all of time.
Yeah, it's you and like Genghis Khan.
Well, he's seen people get fucked up in a different way.
Yeah.
That's chop their legs off and light them on fire and use them on a catapult. Like, have you ever listened to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History?
No.
Listen to me, man. Wrath of the Khans. It's a 5-part series on hardcore history about Genghis Khan, and it is fucking amazing. It's amazing. I was obsessed with Genghis Khan for like 3 years after this.
Why?
He killed 10% of the population on Earth.
It's a lot.
He and his people killed so many people. They changed the carbon footprint of human beings.
No.
Yeah. They killed 50 million people at a time where there weren't that many people. There was probably 500 million people on all of Earth. He killed 50 million people during his time. There's a story about this guy that was traveling to China. He was I forget what it was, some Arab nation, and they were traveling to China to meet and see if they could do business and do some trading and shit, see what it's like. And as he got close, he saw what he thought was a snow-capped mountain in the distance. And as they got closer, they realized that it was a pile of bones, and that Genghis Khan and his warriors had come in Jin, China. They killed everyone. They killed 1 million people and stacked their bodies on top. And they had to abandon the road along the way because there were so many rotting corpses in the road that the wheels were sinking into the muck and they couldn't travel.
Yeah.
This was, I forget who it was. I'm trying to remember. The Shah of somewhere. See, is slaughtered every person there. By some estimates, 1,748,000 people were killed.
Christ.
They were beheaded and their skulls were piled into pyramids, a request by Genghis Khan's daughter to ensure that no one got away with a simple wounding.
What compelled him?
Fucking,
Was it religion? What
he was a fucking conqueror, man.
But like, what
sense of the
what is
word.
the motivation? Like, are you doing this for God? What is the purpose?
His name was Timogen, right? And he was from the time he was young, he grew up with these people that lived in this area of Mongolia where it was just a hard place to live.
Yeah.
Just hard people.
Yeah.
And he killed his own brother when he was a young boy because his brother was stealing fish from him. And so him and his other brother, they ambushed the older brother and lit him up with arrows. And the mother was furious at him. But that was like from the time he was little, he was a murderer.
I'm just curious, like, what inspires somebody to do that? I understand, like, inspiration from God, right?
I think it's the time. Like
I need to
were
expand. I need to.
People were brutal murderers back then. It was normal. And the way they lived. They also had like extreme disdain for anyone who lived in houses. They all lived in tents. They lived in these felt tents. And they were nomads, and they traveled, and they would, pack up their shit and move.
So that was just their thing to do.
Yeah, that was the thing.
That
to do.
1.7 million people he killed was because his son-in-law was killed.
Wow.
By an arrow.
That's a different one. He did this multiple times, by the way. But Jin China is the one where it was the Shah, the Khwarezmian Shah. That's who it was. And this guy on the way there, he sees something in the distance. Oh, look at that snow-covered mountain. Nope. Pile of bones. 1 million people dead, stacked on top of each other. He did it multiple times. During his time, during his lifetime, they killed more than 50 million people.
1 million. I mean, just think about this. 1 million people, right? Like
stacked on top of each other.
Will you meet 1 million people in your life?
I think I already have.
You've shook hands with 1 million people?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Hands.
Like,
yeah.
1 million is so much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So
it's 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
You have to murder, and then place
their bodies
in the same place. Like, when in human history are there 1 million people together? Now we have cities, but like back then,
this is how wild they were. There was talk that, and on some of these campaigns, when they would run out of food, they would decide who they were going to kill out of their soldiers and then eat them. And that's how they fed the rest of their troops.
So, do you think this guy is a psychopath?
Oh, for sure.
And
but everybody was back then. The standards of the time were different. Like murder was commonplace. Seeing people get their legs cut off and seeing people get slaughtered. But he was exceptionally cruel. And one of the things that they would do with people that they captured was they would light their bodies on fire and use them as catapults and launch their flaming bodies onto the roofs of these, because they had thatched roofs in these buildings, and they would light their buildings on fire with flaming bodies. Dude, I'm telling you this. This Dan Carlin, he's got an amazing podcast. It's called Hardcore History. It's one of the best podcasts. To call it a podcast is unfair because assholes like you and me, we do podcasts.
Yeah. This guy's doing research.
What he does is like it's an oral presentation of historical events in an incredibly theatrical way.
I don't know.
It's amazing.
Do you ever think about like if you could go back in history and just be a voyeur?
I would like to do that. I would love to have seen that time.
That's the
what
time?
It's like when these people would just ransack a city and light everything on fire and slaughter everyone.
It's one of those things that like you hear these stories and you're like, so much of the development of successful countries is geography.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
if you didn't have some water between you and Genghis Khan,
right,
it was over. So you look at what we call the first world. It's like how much of that shit is literally just mountain range water.
Mm-hmm.
Like how much of the reason it's luck.
Yeah, a lot of luck.
English people dominating the world is luck.
Well, look at Afghanistan. The reason
Explain
why
fucking
no one
Afghanistan to
has
me.
been ever. First of all, Afghanistan is rich in resources, rich in lithium, natural gas. It's a very valuable place to control.
So this is why everybody's been beefing over Afghanistan
Exactly.
forever.
That's why Russia tried to conquer them, and then we armed the
Kurds, right?
Yeah. No, it was what the fuck what did they call themselves back then? What were the Afghanis back then? Before they became the Taliban, they were God, I'm fucking had a mental blank.
So maybe afterwards it was the Kurds, but I know at a certain point in time.
Yeah, that's different though. That's a different part of. I mean, there are Kurds, and the Kurds were a different part. I'm trying to think of the religion. God damn it.
Sunnis.
No. Hold on. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to work. I can't remember. But when we armed them, when they were fighting against the Russians, we helped them and we supported them, and then in turn, what we tried to do is we tried to control and stop Russia from taking over.
Yeah.
So we armed their freedom fighters, and then the CIA trained Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
And he worked for us.
Yeah.
And then eventually decided that we're the devil, and then turned sides. And
Yeah.
but it's all about resources. The reason, we're not that concerned with that area. Otherwise, we'd be in North Korea.
Yeah,
We'd stop.
yeah,
If we're really worried about human rights,
We
would
go
be
right
in
to
North
North
Korea.
Korea, yeah.
What is the fucking? Thank you, Mujahideen. Yeah, so we armed the Mujahideen, and they later became the people that fought against the United States. They later became the Taliban.
And they're running it back now.
Well, now they're retaking over Afghanistan because we're pulling out, and it's a disaster, a horrific disaster.
Yeah.
And this is what all the special forces guys have always warned against. There's like, the moment you pull out, they're going to kill all the people that helped us, and then they're going to take over the country.
So
again.
then what is the solution to that?
Well, guys like Evan Hafer said that having all those troops in there is not the way to go. That really, with a trained group of commandos, they could go in there and fuck shit up in a much more precise and tactical way, and take care of situations.
Yeah.
But when you want to get all tinfoil hat, here's what happens. I love it. When you get real tinfoil hat, there's people that say, listen, the military-industrial complex wants conflict because that's the only way they're going to make money. And when it seems ridiculous that we're over in a country wasting money and putting soldiers' lives at risk, it doesn't make any sense why we're there.
Yeah.
So what you do is you back out and you let these people regroup,
and then
you let them try to take over again.
I guess we got to go back.
I guess we got to go back. And then they maybe do something and attack us, and maybe we let it happen. Or maybe we let planes fly into the World Trade Center. That's the real tinfoil hat people. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not me.
Yeah.
But the real tinfoil hat people, they believe that this is the reason why we're involved in these little, like, you sacrifice your rook, right? And then you bring in the queen.
Yeah.
And you start fucking shit up. And that is,
You don't
if
think
you
it's-
are the military-industrial complex,
Yeah.
and you make untold trillions of dollars over decades and decades, fucking shit up all over the world.
Peace
and
is
the
your
idea
greatest
is,
enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah, peace. You lose a lot of money during peace.
And for soldiers, they become very conflicted because they do realize that in order to protect the freedom over here, you do have to engage with the enemy over there. But then you get guys like Smedley Butler, who in the 1930s wrote a book called War is a Racket. It was a paper, actually. And this paper was detailing all of his campaigns that he's involved with, that he thought he was like doing the right thing to defend freedom, but really he was like making things safe for bankers. And he talked about it in great detail. It was like Smedley Butler wrote that in the, what was it, like 1935. War is a Racket.
Yeah.
It's an amazing piece of historical reference, because like this guy was writing about this almost 100 years ago.
But it kind of...
I spent 33 years in active military service, and during that period of time, I spent most of my time as a high-class muscle man for big business, for Wall Street and the bankers. In short, I was a racketeer, a gangster for capitalism. Smedley Butler.
That's the thing that's weird. Like, when I've been trying to like understand money, again, I'm a complete baboon when it comes to it, but like the more I start to understand, it's not exactly this like supply and demand thing.
Right.
You know, I thought it was just supply and demand. I thought that's what it was. But
a little bit of that.
It's a little bit of it, but there's still like this ability to operate on debt. And the interesting thing about war, from what I was like reading, is that when there's a war, there's an endless supply of lending, because you can't go broke during a war.
Right.
You just keep on printing, because if we don't win this, we lose everything.
Right.
And as long as there's money in circulation, as long as there's liquidity, like the way that this was explained to me by this guy, James Weissman, I think his name is. But he was just like, printing money doesn't necessarily devalue the money. What will fuck up our economy is if we stop spending. We need to keep moving. We're like a shark. You need to keep swimming. That's how you breathe. You swim.
Yeah.
So give people money. Let them buy some fucking TVs at Best Buy. Let them go out to eat. Let them do these things. We'll keep going. And letting it grind to a halt is the problem. And I wonder if, like, I look at all these conflicts and I'm like, okay, war, I guess it's just unlimited spending. And I look at like the places that we're having war, which seems so peculiar. And I'm like, I think there is a spending component, but I also think it's an oil component. It's like, are we trying to create conflict so motherfuckers can't make like an oil pipeline so they're dependent on like us to get oil to different parts of the world?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that there's a lot of like high level chess going on in these types of situations. And like the more I dig into it, like the sadder I fucking get about it, you know, because I don't know if sad is the right word, but like the more depressing it is, because I know that there's people out there like risking their lives because they're like, I need to save America and I'm willing to die. I'm willing to not be with my family. I'm willing to like really risk it all.
Yeah.
And then you look into what they may be risking it for. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of like virtuous risks as well. But like sometimes you look into it and you're like, hey, that ain't fair, bro. Like,
Right. It's not fair.
You
They
got a
use
wife
those
and
people as
kids, bro.
pawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use them as pawns. They use them as pawns on a giant global chess game that's about controlling resources. And that's what Afghanistan's always been about. It's been about controlling resources. I mean, I'm sure it's also been about stopping fundamentalist psychopath terrorists.
But is that the excuse to control the resources? Like the
Depends
second
on who you're talking to. If you're talking to soldiers, they're trying to stop the fundamentalist
they're doing the right thing.
psychopath terrorists.
These
Yeah.
motherfuckers
Yeah,
are
they're doing the right
stealing
thing.
12-year-old girls.
Yes.
They're fucking raping
Yes.
them. They're making them sex
Yes.
slaves. They're going out there to stop that.
Right.
But the bankers are going, oh, there's new fundamentalists? Are they operating on land with oil? We like
Right.
this.
When
You
you
know?
get the Dick Cheneys of the world involved, things get very murky.
So that's the thing that I'm curious about these motherfuckers, right? It's like who's making these decisions, man? Like, I don't want to go
We're never going to find out. The only way we're going to find out is we're going to put on the fucking robes and go to Bohemian Grove. And
You got the fucking shirt.
I got the shirt.
You're ready to go.
Next time I go to eat with Alex Jones, I'm
You have to do it. But isn't there part of you before you go, Joe, like, old man, like, don't you wish you could go into a room and motherfucker, right before, like, day before you die, you're fucking 102 years old, day before you die, don't you want someone to bring you into a
with
room?
a suicide vest.
That's it. And then you done. Boom. And blow them all up, but at least you fucking knew.
I don't know. I wonder how compartmentalized it all is. I wonder how many people actually know horrific shit that their corporations or their business is involved with. And this is the shit that Eisenhower tried to warn us about.
Why, what did he say?
Did you never see that video?
No.
You need to see this. Pull up Eisenhower upon leaving office. And we're going to grab your headphones because you need to hear this whole thing. Upon leaving office, Eisenhower gave one of the most chilling speeches that any...
In the councils of government,
watch this.
we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
This is, you got a Bernie Sanders one here, bro.
I was trying to find the shortest one so it doesn't play a bunch of other stuff. But.
It is, this is from the National
I
Archives.
come to you with a message of leave-taking and farewell.
This speech
1961.
did not get very much attention. When a new president is coming to power, is
Okay. Unfortunately, there's a lot of assholes who want to talk over Eisenhower.
So this is at the end of his term?
Throughout
Yeah, that's it. You got it, Jamie? Okay. Throughout his term, he recognized, he was a famous general.
Yeah.
I mean, Eisenhower was the fucking man. And upon leaving, and this is 61, so it's post-World War II, that was ended 13 years ago or so. And he recognized that the military-industrial complex was looking for conflicts so that they can make money. And he was trying to warn the American people about this. So imagine this guy's leaving office, and for him, the most important thing to say to the American people is you have to be fucking careful. Here it goes.
Before you press play,
Yeah.
he's not remembered with rose-colored glasses.
No.
Or lenses, or whatever that
Right.
expression is. Like, he's kind of remembered poorly. They kind of shit on his presidency. And I wonder if that's what the fuck they do to the people that question the authority, the people that are really in charge. Like, any president that pushes back against these powers that be, I wonder if they just shit on them in the history books.
Is Eisenhower remembered poorly?
He's not remembered well. He's
Really?
not remembered as this heroic savior or anything. I mean, I can't name a single fucking thing Eisenhower did.
I mean, didn't Eisenhower
I
lead
don't-
us through the war?
I don't want to do the whole, as a president, I don't want to do the whole like we go against the fucking banks and shit, but or the Fed. But what is his face that took out the Fed? What is his name? Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson's just remembered as a racist. Like
Right.
that's his only. But he also took out the Fed.
Right. Listen to this.
Programs. balance between our essential requirements.
Yeah, bring it from the beginning.
Throughout America's adventure in free government, our basic purposes have been to keep the peace, to foster progress in human achievement, and to enhance liberty, dignity, and integrity among peoples and among nations. Progress toward these noble goals is persistently threatened by the conflict now engulfing the world. It commands our whole attention, absorbs our very beings, global in scope, atheistic in character, ruthless in purpose, and insidious in method. Unhappily, the danger it poses promises to be of indefinite duration. To meet it successfully, there is call for not so much the emotional and transitory sacrifices of crisis, but rather those which enable us to carry forward steadily, surely, and without complaint, the burdens of a prolonged and complex struggle with liberty, the stake. Crises there will continue to be. In meeting them, whether foreign or domestic, great or small, there is a recurring temptation to feel that some spectacular and costly action could become the miraculous solution to all current difficulties. But each proposal must be weighed in the light of a broader consideration: the need to maintain balance in and among national programs. Balance between our essential requirements as a nation and the duties imposed by the nation upon the individual. Balance between actions of the moment and the national welfare of the future. Good judgment seeks balance and progress. Lack of it eventually finds imbalance and frustration. You and I, my fellow citizens, need to be strong in our faith that all nations under God will reach the goal of peace with justice. May we be ever unswerving in devotion to principle, confident but humble with power, diligent in pursuit of the nation's great goals.
What is this? It's not even the thing.
Wait, that wasn't it?
And you had to listen to the shitty fucking music.
But that wasn't it?
That was only part of it. That was only part of it, but it was a good part. It was a good part beside the whole worry about the influence of the military-industrial complex. Okay, here it is. Hit me with it.
That's just the quote.
Okay. The councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. That's what we're dealing with. I mean, that guy was trying to explain to people that we need balance because there's a bunch of people that just want to make money by starting wars, and that's real shit.
Yeah, I feel like people make, I don't know, that's my biggest issue with America right now, is that motherfuckers are willing to sell their souls for any amount of money. Like, it doesn't matter. You sell influence to any other country. If China wants to buy up something, they want to buy
You
up
talking about John Cena?
John Cena. Who else? Who else had to apologize? What was the
John Cena one was wild, though.
Yeah, I mean, come on, John.
He's talking Chinese.
Come on, John. He was speaking fluent Mandarin.
Fluent. Amazing.
Bending over.
Yeah, bending over.
It's
So
just,
sorry. I was so tired.
Is that what he said?
I was so tired.
He said I was
made a
tired?
mistake. Yeah. I was so tired. I was doing press. I respect China so much. So much. So much respect.
But that's the thing. We're so fucking greedy that the second anybody offers you some money, you'll take it immediately.
Do you know what the money was, though?
What was it?
They made $160-something million in the box office for the opening weekend for Fast and Furious 9. 134 of it was from China.
That's
a lot of money, son.
It's a lot of money, but you have to understand, like, it's a movie about car crashes, and obviously in
They
China,
translate in China. Well, this is why. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's an action movie. They're not do our comedies.
Yeah, exactly.
Our comedies are worthless over there.
Yeah, exactly. You
Them
need to do
action
action
shoot 'em ups,
movies.
Everybody knows what the
Yeah.
fuck that's going on.
But it's just like, is there ever a price where you'll just say no? You know what I mean? Like if one of the, I see it all the time. Like you see it happening like with buildings and stuff in New York. It's like foreign investment comes in, and I understand that. But also when it comes to movies, like I think like AMC let China buy up a certain percentage of it. And what happens if they start saying, we're not going to show any movies, right? Like I think about this with the algorithms too. Like not only is it, all you have to do to change culture is limit the dollar. So if AMC goes, we're not going to put any movie that's critical of China in our movie theaters. You're just not going to make it.
Right.
Just like what happened with comedy on TV. Like there's a certain part of my success is that comedy got so neutered on TV that when I just started throwing shit out on YouTube, people are like, "Oh yeah, this is funny. I remember it's funny,
real funny, wild shit."
Yeah, wild shit is actually funny.
Wild shit.
And I worry about this shit. Like when I see the algorithms on the social media platforms, if you start taking down things for bullying or even if it's in the guise of comedy, I think YouTube does a good job of this. Because like when we had Alex on YouTube, we put a disclaimer. We're like, "This is all fake. This is all for fun," and they left it up, and it was cool. The second time we had it around, but I was like. I'm looking at like.
What do you mean the second time?
When we had Alex back on, we put a big disclaimer. We're like,
so the
no,
first time they pulled it.
They pulled it. Yeah.
Did you ever edit it? The part that he said. What did he say? Like Bill Gates is the devil or some shit?
No. I think he was like, Corona causes cancer. No, the vaccine causes cancer. I think that's
what he said.
Like 60 seconds in.
Really?
Yeah. It was.
Why didn't you just
early.
edit that part out and put it back up?
I didn't even think. I think it was so silly. Like we were all dressed silly. Like everything was a joke. We're doing this as a joke, but they went wild on it. But. I guess my point is like if TikTok says you can't say these certain words on the platform, right?
They ban a lot of people off of TikTok.
They ban a lot. And they take down videos for certain words. But all of a sudden, if you want success, you're going to have to start curating your comedy based on those rules. You get to dictate what the rules are for comedy. And then we're in the same fucking situation as we were when Comedy Central was putting out fucking nonsense for years.
Right.
So it's like, that's too much control, man. Like, I don't know. It's a little, when you look at the social media shit, if everybody's on it, is it a fucking, is it like water? What is that called? A utility?
Right.
Like, do we start looking at it like a utility?
I believe so. I think we should. I think if we want to look at things fairly, it has to be a utility.
You can't.
I think there's one thing, like if someone wants to dox you and tell people where you live and show photos of your kids and like go after Andrew's kid, like no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And that should be illegal. But other than that, you should be able to talk. Yeah. You should be able to express yourself.
Yeah.
And the problem today is we're finding there's a lot of stuff that gets censored that turns out to be correct. Here's one, the lab leak theory.
Yeah.
For a long time, if you had that lab leak theory, you were a racist.
They call me racist after the Netflix special. I made fun of everybody.
Wait a minute. The Andrew Schulz takes over America,
yeah,
whatever it's
Schulz
called?
saves America.
That?
I literally had a couple jokes about the thing coming from China, and I have these fucking nerd bloggers that, of course, nobody looks at, and I didn't lean into it. I didn't make a whole fucking hoopla about it. But they're like, oh, this is racist. This is xenophobic shit. How could you say this, at the other?
But here's the thing. Like, that's their job. They suck. But their job is to suck. Like, they appeal to people who, they're the libs of TikTok. Like, that's their crowd. And this is a real market. And they might not even really think that way. They might decide that to think like that is a viable business option.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people capitalizing on the woke shit, and they're basically sociopaths.
Yeah.
They don't care about the other people on the other end. They don't care about you because you're doing great.
Yep.
He's got a Netflix series. Mm-hmm. His podcast is killing it. Fuck him. Let's go. I don't like his mustache. They go after you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know. I think that's too much power, and I worry, like, creatively. And, like, not to be, like, artsy about it, but, like, I want new young comics to come up, and I want them to fucking say what they find funny.
Yes.
And I want new versions. I want to eventually look at my comedy, and I see these young guys, and I go, man, my shit is dated. These young motherfuckers are killing it. Like, push me.
Push me.
Push me.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't do some neutered bullshit
Right.
because you want your clip to kill on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? That's going to drive me fucking crazy. But if the algorithms stop allowing it, that's what it's going to be.
Let me tell you something about Spotify. They never fuck with me once.
Yeah, I know. It's everybody around Spotify that wants to fuck with you.
With
it's all
people
these
that work on
bloggers.
there?
No, I don't even know
those
if the
people?
worker shit is real, but I'm saying the bloggers, like how they always go for the company. They're like, Spotify, how could
They don't
you
care.
allow this?
You know why? Because it's number one podcast on earth.
Damn
Still.
right.
Still.
Damn right.
Even coming over to Spotify.
Damn right.
Still.
Yeah.
And now Spotify's the number one place for podcasts, too.
Bro, you know what's so weird? I was Breaking Points, Sagar and Crystal. I wanted to sign up. I signed up for their thing because you can pay money to get the thing early, right? I just want to support them. I love them.
Yeah,
I
me
think they're
too.
fucking
Love
great.
them.
And I love Sagar's new teeth. You got great new teeth, Sagar. Okay, yeah, he looks like fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine with those things. so I go to sign up, right? And my first, and this is the power of getting a massive podcast, my first instinct was, where do you listen to your podcast? My first instinct was not to do Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. It was to go Spotify.
Yeah.
That's why they paid you. So that I go, well, I guess I listen to things on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's other reasons to pay you, but the reason right? It's like,
Yeah.
how do I think the place you listen to shit is now Spotify?
Yeah.
And they didn't have it fucking listed.
They didn't have
They
Spotify
had a million
listed?
other fucking things listed on this. There's a whole email, so they got to fix that. But
They should fix that.
But
that's
that
simple.
behavioral thing, me just opening and looking for the green Spotify icon,
Right.
that's the game changer.
Yeah. Well, the game changer is that Spotify's recognized that everybody else is censoring people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Daniel Ek said, he's a brilliant guy. He said, we have millions of content creators on Spotify, and we don't attack the rappers for their lyrics, and we don't attack Joe Rogan for whatever he says. We give him creative control, and he's never violated any of our terms of agreements.
That's the funniest thing about, like, I mean, I know there's a lot of controversy with this DaBaby thing going on, but like all these festivals pretending like they give a fuck about what the artists say.
Yeah, they're Halliburton with the fucking rainbow flag. It's the same thing.
We care about being inclusive.
Dropping rainbow bombs on Yemen.
We care about a safe environment. Everybody in the crowd's on fucking coke and Molly, just touching each other, grabbing fucking girls' tits. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Exactly.
It's just such bullshit. That's why I'm back in New York, Joe.
Because you like the conflict.
I love the fucking conflict.
I get it. I get it. Well, I want you to be there, but I also want you to just take over Miami. I think that's your move.
Yeah, maybe.
I like the Andrew with the straw hat on.
Yeah, I
like
gotta bust
it.
back.
But you've taken some of that with you. Look at
you
this
have
fucking
to,
shirt.
man. I'm out here, bro. The legend.
I'm out here.
Motherfucker killed himself before Me Too could take him, man. Shouts to Hugh Hefner, dog.
Dude, he made it.
Dude, he
made it
got
to the
out
end.
right in time.
He made it to the end. Oh, they would have come for him for sure.
Game over.
Right? Yeah.
Game
oh
over.
my God.
I mean, that was a wild time. Did you ever go to the mansion?
Yeah, I went to the mansion a couple times.
As
for
crazy as they
fights.
said?
No, I was only there for events. I was there for, I believe it was Strike Force. Strike Force had, I think it was Strike Force, maybe the Lead XC. One of the smaller MMA shows had an event at the Playboy Mansion. I went there for that. We did Fear Factor from the mansion once. And then I hosted the Marijuana Policy Project, had an event at the mansion as well. And that was a weird one.
Why was it weird?
That was just weird. It's like, it's weird, you know, because it's like the whole thing was kind of corny. Like you would go there and everything was old.
Yeah.
It was all, but it wasn't old cool. It was old like a house you would buy, but you know, like it was in a good lot, so you would tear it down
And then redo everything.
Yeah.
Like the kitchen was old.
Yeah,
it feels
had
like you're in like Orlando.
dial phones and shit. Was Strike Force? Yeah.
Yeah.
I went for that. It was interesting, you know.
Ugh, life,
It was,
man.
but you know, it's the whole fucking pipe and the smoking jacket thing. But back in the day, he was the guy that would they had the Playboy Club, and it was on television. They would introduce people to like different artists and musicians, and it's just such a weird thing that like naked girls.
Yeah. And now
That
it's
was,
just, now
and
it's
girls
just
wanted it. Like they would get Playboy bunny tattoos. That bunny on your shirt. You know how many
millions of girls.
cheesy broads got that shit tattooed on their butt
Millions.
cheeks?
Yeah, millions, Joe. Millions. A lot.
A lot.
I wonder if it's like now girls can do OnlyFans and like Instagram. Like, like this is a weird observation, but like Hooters, the talent has kind of fell off a little bit.
Of course.
But you've noticed that?
I don't go, but I would imagine.
Okay, neither do I. But like the talent's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Well, the food's not the best.
The food's not the best, and then the girls can go on OnlyFans. They can go
And
on
make
Instagram.
a shit pile of money just showing their feet.
Exactly. You don't
All
have
they
to
just
show
show
your
their
tits.
feet and their butthole.
Take your
and
feet
wear
out
a
of those
mask.
fucking Skechers or whatever they were wearing.
Wear a stick a carrot up your ass with bunny ears on, and you'll make so much more money than you ever would in Playboy.
Dude, it's
The
so
OnlyFans
true.
thing is wild because I've talked to people that are on the OnlyFans. I'm like, how much money are you making? Just tell me.
And good.
Fucking 10,000 a month, 100,000 a month, 50,000 a month, and they're just taking pictures. And the regular girls, like no one knows who they are, and they're making $1 million a year.
But I also think about the girl who goes, because I think in the back of every hot girl's head, they're like, I could make millions of dollars stripping, but I choose not to. And there's a couple that have started an OnlyFans, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The
I mean,
average
there
is
must-
only 180 a month.
What?
180
So
bucks?
for every girl that's getting 10,000, there's one that's getting
180 bucks?
So imagine you show the goods in your whole life. You were like, I'm above this. And then
Right.
it's $180 a month. One
Right.
shift waiting tables at the store.
Yeah. How does one become famous on OnlyFans, right? That's the question.
That's the social climbing shit that, like, I don't even want to call it social climbing, but, like, I find it very hard to engage creatively with people that I don't respect. And some people are really good at it. Like, they find other people that are, like, popping and they can, like, insert themselves in. And I just can't do it.
There's a couple guys in the top.
You got to pull the microphone down so people can hear you.
Couple guys in the top 15 earners.
Yeah, they're making
Couple
money.
guys.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Showing cock?
Bro,
I
if you
How
got
much
it
money
like
do
that.
you get showing cock?
Tyga makes a lot, I think I heard.
Tyga?
Yeah, he's got a piece.
And then
He
Aaron
shows his
Carter
cock?
is on
He
there.
might. He apparently has a piece, though. I don't know why I know that.
He shows his cock?
I think so. I'm not checking. I don't know what else
Well,
you
that
pay
must
for.
be on
What are
Reddit
people
as well,
paying
right?
for?
Don't they leak?
Yeah,
They
that's
definitely
the
leak.
fucked up shit. Is Reddit is OnlyFans for free.
Yeah,
so, you know, I feel so bad saying this, but like, if ever there's a friend of mine that's on OnlyFans or someone I kind of know, like from the peripheral, I go right to Reddit and it's there, dude.
So is Reddit or is OnlyFans for people that don't know how to use the real internet?
Yeah, you're just old. It's for boomers.
Or you're in love with a girl and you want to support her.
That's the thing.
You
If she's
wanna,
showing it.
There's a lot of those guys that like become super fascinated with those girls and then they want to meet them. And
Do you know that it's all rigged?
What do you
I
mean?
spoke to this OnlyFans
rigged?
girls. They have people who text the guys.
Oh.
So these chicks, this is the game, right? The girls go with a company. The company takes all their pictures, populates their OnlyFans.
Oh, there's a new company that does that.
There's companies that do this, right? They're like an agency. They take like 25%. They take all your pictures, fly you to LA, do all the things, and then they have people who interact with your fans and talk sexy to them and say, I can't wait to see you. So they keep you engaged, and then you fucking fall in love with them.
Oh, boy.
And then the girls don't gotta do shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's sad. That makes me sad. Those guys are getting hustled.
They are. But are they? I think they know it. It's like the catfish shit. It's like, you know, it's fake, but you like the fact that someone's talking to you, saying they love you.
The solution is a video. The girl has to make a video.
She got to make a video directly to you.
Hi, Mike. I really
me.
appreciate you jerking off to my feet. And I just the next one that I take, that carrot is going to be up my ass for you.
You're only going to see green.
Yeah. You're just going to see the carrot, the green, and my feet.
I like the feet shit, though. I'm not going to
Do
lie.
ya?
Yeah,
I like pretty feet.
He made a lot.
Busted feet are sad. What is this? Tyga's genitals netted him $7.9 million.
There you go.
He's doubling down on OnlyFans. Wow. Is Tyga still doing music? He's a
I
music.
don't know.
No.
But when you got it like that, like,
$7.9 million just showing his hog?
bro, making money, you
hell of
find
a
out what
hog.
you really love.
How much? Why is the game slipping? Why is he not in on this?
Why? Because he got a piece,
It's
right?
a giant
Yeah,
hog.
he got a piece.
He's got
He
an
a piece.
arm in
But
there.
he's medium swole. Like, I don't think that's fake
medium
saw.
swole?
I don't think it's hard enough where it's facing up, but I think he warms it up to the point.
It doesn't matter. Have you
No,
seen
he's
it?
got a piece. He got a piece, dude.
Bro,
He got a piece.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's one of them pythons that swallows alligators.
Yeah,
in the
it's
fucking
a problem.
Everglades.
You fill that thing up with water, you go to the gym.
That's a hog.
Yeah, he got a nice
He's got
one.
a hog. He's
Yeah.
got like a shin bone in there. Like that.
Give that shit to Connor. Just replace it. Just replace Connor with fucking the game's meat,
Give me,
dude.
show me the game's hog. Hey, listen. Only I'm a 54-year-old man. I turned 54 today, and this is my respectable job that I have with a large corporation. I'm
God
like,
bless America.
Show me his penis,
Yeah.
please.
How
Show me
could
this
you be
man's-
angry?
Look at
I mean,
that
yeah,
hog.
yeah, that's-
Come on,
that's
son.
stupid.
It
It's
don't
stupid.
matter if it's hard.
It's stupid, bro.
That's a giant hog.
Yeah, dude.
That man's got a giant hog.
Yeah.
Look at how he's grabbing it in the left one.
Yeah, dude.
The one on the left, I mean, that's like a fucking Budweiser can. The fuck is he grabbing?
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
How many girls do you think contacted him after they saw that?
Oh, dude, that's why they're doing it.
100,000?
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah,
easily,
probably.
Easily.
There's
But
like-
what girl can take that?
A lot of girls.
You think?
Dirty ones.
Really?
Yeah, they're used to it.
I don't know if you get used to that.
I bet they do.
You think?
Yeah, they have babies. Babies' heads are huge.
Yeah, but the fucking, what is it called?
People fist people. Come on,
I
man.
don't buy that, dude.
You don't buy fisting? You need to watch Tom Segura's videos.
Wait, he has that?
Yeah, Tom Segura has cultivated these guys fisting each other where they have anal prolapses and then they pull the prolapses out and rub them against each other. Bro.
Where is he watching
He
this?
does it on those Your Mom's House lives.
the lives, yeah.
Those Your Mom's House lives
Hysterical.
are the wildest fucking thing on the internet
Brilliant.
because it's shit he could never get away with showing on the podcast. But people pay for it, and then they put it up, and then he has a website where you download it, and you get up to like a month afterwards or whatever. It's fucking crazy. I actually am bummed out because he invited me to be on one, but I'm elk hunting when it's going down. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, when's the next one?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'll cancel a gig for that. Let me in.
I want to watch Prolapse Anus.
It's not just that. It's like he finds the wildest shit.
But that's
online.
smart. It's like you're giving people a reason why they should tune in.
It's a
not
genius
just a podcast.
show.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
He's sharp.
genius. It's fucking genius.
Yeah.
And he does it once a month, and he has a whole like infrastructure dedicated to it to make sure that it, the download's smooth, and they built sets, and they hired producers. They hired people that like used to work for like SNL and shit and know how to run shows.
Yeah.
Wild.
You kind of need that.
Tom's a genius.
Yeah.
And he moved out here to Austin, Texas.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
His wife murdered it last night. Christina Pazitsky.
funny.
Oh my God, she's funny. Murdered it to the point where everybody was like eyebrows raised, like, whoa. She was killing.
I gotta check out Christina, man. I gotta check out Christina.
Last night was a wild show. We had David Lucas.
Love David. Shouts to David.
Shout out to David Lucas. Killed
Love you,
it.
bro.
Warmed it up. And then Christina Pazitsky murdered it. And then Duncan Trussell murdered it. And then Tony Hinchcliffe murdered it.
Love
it was
Tony.
a wild show.
Nah,
so
you
that was
got a
all
good
before
guy.
I got on. So it's like, it was crazy at the Vulcan.
Yeah.
This is a fun place, man.
Yeah.
It's a fun, and there's no one to say no here.
And I hear there's a new place
no one
opening
to-
soon.
Oh yeah, we're real close.
That's
We're
what I
real close.
hear. The rumors on the streets.
Yeah, the inspections were done today, or they were done on Saturday rather. We'll have an announcement shortly, but it's going to be wild. Woo! All right, it's 4:19. Let's wrap this bitch up.
God bless.
Andrew Schulz, next time I see you, you'll be filming your special at the Paramount. I will
Damn right.
be in attendance for
God
that,
bless
sir.
you. God bless
I'm
you.
very
man.
excited for
Shouts
that.
to Virginia.
Yeah, that's
We got
right.
a shout out. Can we say that or no?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
yeah.
say that.
Shouts to you, Virginia.
My wife's friend.
Yeah.
She got the hots for Andrew.
You got a great taste, okay? With all due respect, you have great taste. Excellent taste. I'm a happily fiancéed man.
He's happily almost married man.
I'm happily almost married. Yeah.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is over.
Peace.
God bless you all.